Yeah, bro.
But you have to use that click to
Listen, bro, this is my own version, of the Lil Wayne's lighter flick. You get me? You get me? Yeah. Listen, for you guys that don't know, this is the Energy Gawd. You get what I'm saying? If I'm showing this, if I'm showing you man this right now, what do you think? Yeah. What do you think is about to happen, bro?
Have a good guess.
This episode, this episode is powered by the Energy Gawd. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's powered by the Energy Gawd right here.
Guys,
fam, before we start, I'm just gonna sip this. Round.
No, listen, when last did you drink a drink where like the person on the can of the drink is in front of you?
Fam, that's Hercules right here,
that's
bro.
That's never happened to me.
You know what I'm saying?
That's never happened to me. I don't know about you,
bro. I don't listen. It's never happened to me. Bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You
There's
know
always
what I'm
a first. Though.
This right here is the Energy Gawd, bro.
I appreciate it.
Listen,
man.
all that Red Bull we're on the drink right there, man.
Man, this is it.
You know what I mean? This is it right here.
This is the official energy drink for Afrobeats.
Listen, you're hearing the voice.
For us,
just like that.
You're hearing the voice, though, bro.
And that's the message there for us. Buy us.
Buy us.
We don't need to be packing our thing and giving to some next man. Yeah, we need. Let's keep it within.
You know what I'm saying? Listen. This is a very special one, bro. Yeah. I don't know about you man out there, but this is a very special man. We are in the presence of greatness right now. Bro.
Appreciate it, man.
You know what I'm saying? When we first started this 2 years ago,
Take us back.
Bro, I'm taking everyone back, bro.
Them times, yeah?
You got me, them times. We hit up this man just one time and said, bro, we need you. Come on the pod. He said, fam, where are you located? South London. Say less.
Yeah.
Say less, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No too much talky, man.
Turned up, bro. Turned up. You know what I'm saying? And today, 2 years later,
back again.
We hit him up again.
Yeah.
He said, bro, I'm coming through. You know what I'm saying? And bro, there's no time for him to come through. Than right now.
Especially now.
Go.
You know what I'm saying? The Afrobeat scene is on fire right now, bro.
It's on fire.
God, if they don't know, they're all slipping on a bicycle, bro.
Top of the food chain right now.
You know what I'm saying? So for you man out there, you are now welcome to Fresh Off the Boat Show. You know what I'm saying? This show is presented to you by the Three-Headed Monsters. My name is Kelly, Toby. Kojo's not here today, but shout out to Kojo, man. You know what I'm saying? And this show is powered by the Energy Gawd.
Thank you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, we have another special guest today, man. The curator of many things Afrobeats, bro. The founder of the Energy Gawd Drink. The host of the Afrobeats Podcast.
Yeah.
An ambassador of the culture. Bro, it's no other than Adesope, a.k.a. Shopsy. And a.k.a. the Energy Gawd.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying, Robert? I had to give that to you, though.
I
You
ain't
get
gonna
me?
lie. Listen,
I had to give that to you regardless.
I'm not gonna lie. That's right up there.
Bro,
with
salute
any
to you,
introduction that I've ever got in my life, man. I appreciate that
Salute
so much.
to you, bro.
Thank you.
Salute to
Thank
you.
Thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, this is not promo whatever, bro. We drink this shit. For
Thank
real.
you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
I don't drink all them Red Bulls when I drink, bro. You get me? They lie and say it gives you wings, bro. That shit didn't give me no wings, bro. But this one, they give me energy, though. You get me?
that one give me energy.
You get me? This one give me energy, though. You get me? You get me?
man.
Fam, I don't know, just before we start, did you hear the news back in the day, somebody actually sued Red Bull
Because they couldn't get wings.
because they couldn't get wings?
After drinking,
You know, people can be funny.
Fam, it was a real shit. And the person won.
Yeah, because
if they tell you it does this and then you don't get,
You don't get it?
then you.
And if you have time to sue,
And bro, them people, they have time. We not get time now.
you don't get time.
Yeah, that's how we not get time. If company lie to us and everything, we'll call them. They say, oh, sorry. Just go out.
we leave it out.
We don't
They
want
have
no
time,
stress.
bro.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about this energy drink, bro.
Yes, my brother.
How did it start?
Listen, again, thank you very much for having me back.
Thank you.
Just as you said the last time, I was just like, listen, I'm going to come through, you know.
For people that know, he's a legend.
It's very important that we support each other.
Absolutely.
We need a lot more platforms like this existing.
Absolutely.
That's how we build our own media chain and media platforms. So I'm really big on supporting every platform.
We salute you.
So that way we can become stronger.
We salute you.
With the Energy Gawd, it was kind of like a straightforward situation. So a friend of mine just came to me and said, bro, you're the energy god. You've got this energy on stage. You're moving around and doing these things. Maybe we should get like a sponsorship or endorsement for one of these energy drinks. Which we did try to get one or two things, but you're just going back and forth, emails and stuff. And that friend of mine, shout out my brother, Donald.
Shout out to Donald.
Donald, man.
Shout out
And
to
Donald, so whilst Donald was making these calls and trying to make this play, my cousin whispered into my ear and said, bro,
You gotta do this.
you know we can do this ourselves.
Oh, so he was trying to look for sponsors.
Donald was like, listen,
Well,
he's
you-
knocking doors and doors wasn't opening.
Yeah,
but He
yeah.
was adamant that it would be crazy if I didn't do something with the brand. Like the brand already fits.
It solidifies.
Like it solidifies. You've got to do something.
Yeah.
So whilst he was going back and forth, my cousin whispered in my ear, and he's like, "Listen, man, we can do this, ourselves." And I said, "Okay, you do the research and let me know what it will take." So we went about doing the research, how we could, produce this legally, what the licensing is, what the mixture is, what are the rules behind it, how much it's going to cost
To do this,
and we found out that it was possible to do this legally, produced in Europe, following the trade
Proper
standards.
regulations, yeah.
Exactly. And to some extent, it was affordable. You could do it yourself.
Shit.
So if you want to do a bottled water or wine or alcoholic drink, there are platforms out there
That can actually do that for you.
have already the machinery, the systems in place.
crazy.
So all you need to do is just go over there, maybe mess with different tastes, select the one you like, look at what the components are. If you're happy with it, and they could go through
That is
that
what it
stress.
is.
That's it.
And you know what, bro? This brand, the name, obviously, like you say, bro, that's
Yeah.
you, the energy god,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Because when I see your stage, I'm like thinking, me, I know so I don't get that kind of it. You get, bro.
You're thinking, how does he do it?
Fam, you know how hard it is to carry like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000
It's crazy.
people like that. That energy, bro, is something
And
else.
Afronation.
And-
This
and
year it was
Afronation,
like
bro.
50,000, bro.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And proper anchor everyone. Like everyone's like fixated to you. Like let's looking to you to lead the whole thing. Man.
It's
That is-
crazy.
That's nuts and everything,
It's like a blessing. It's really a humbling experience. For me, I think it's a reflection of how I feel about the music and the culture. And I've always told people that what you see me do, maybe in my car, in the radio studio, whatever.
You love it.
I'm just reacting to music the way I would. So when I transfer that to the stage,
It works.
I wasn't going to do anything different than react to the music how I would in my car by myself or in the studio by myself.
Yeah.
And what you find out is a lot of people also receive that type of energy.
It's a transfer of energy, innit?
No,
That's
it is.
So
it
that's
is.
all it is. Like, later on you can start to put some more tactics into it, start to work synergies with your DJ, song selection, knowing where to turn it down and get people hyped. Those type of intricacies come in later on.
Yeah.
But the foundation is that there has to be genuine energy and excitement for what you're doing, and people will resonate to that.
That's what's up, man.
And there is genuine love for it. Because when I see you dancing, I know this says that you're not dancing just watch my steps.
He loves it.
You're dancing.
I'm just having a good time. So it's almost like most of the time I've had my party right there.
Right.
So when people are hitting me up like, "Yo, where's the after party?" I'm like,
Fam, you're
"Yeah,
tired already, bro. I just want to go sleep.
I'm done." Yeah,
I just want to just, nah, bro, it's a beautiful thing and everything, man. It's a beautiful thing because we are still going to jump into like Afronation and everything.
Yeah.
But if people want to get this drink right
Yes.
now, because we can
Yes.
see the limited edition.
yes.
If people want to get this drink right now, where can they get this drink from?
Just go to energygawd.com, and that's ENERGYGAWD.com. Energygawd.com, and you can place your order there. We'll get that delivered to you, posted to you, whatever it is.
That's it, bro. You don't need to stress yourself and go to the shop.
That's it. Easy. And
You
we
know what I'm
are
saying?
attacking. We're definitely growing. The funny thing is, it's about to be exactly 1 year since I started.
started
this.
it, yeah.
So for me, this is even more emotional. Saying, listen, man, it's almost been like a whole year since I've been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I'm
for
just
sure.
thrown in the deep end. Like, I didn't know nothing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
man.
yo. So the
what's
fact that a dream kick-started We're 12 months in. We've got partnerships. Things are moving. We've sold thousands of cans already. And just want to say thank you to everybody that has supported from all the platforms, your Tasty, your Enish, your Smade Lounge, now 042, every single person that has bought a can and supported us. We appreciate it. We're about to take it higher, though.
Listen, bro, anywhere you are, man, international, anywhere we day, man.
That's
you know what
it.
I'm saying? Listen, if you're watching this or you're listening to this, the link is going to be right there in the description box.
Thank
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Just click on the link straight to,
Thank you.
you know, the website.
Energy.com, bro.
That's
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? And just pick your drinks, bro.
Thank you,
You
bro.
get me?
Because this shit is the best chaser, bro. But
Thank you.
I must
This is
add.
dope.
I must add, but best
dope.
chaser, but chase with your favorite
Your
thing.
favorite alcoholic drink, and you're good to go.
He sounds like a true alcoholic, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, don't call me alcoholic.
Hey, bro, hold on.
Don't call me alcoholic.
Listen, look at what I'm drinking today. What are you drinking today? Look at what he's drinking today. And then look at what my man's drinking today.
I've got
haven't mixed
I've
it
got
yet.
energy God today. Bro.
There you go, brother. You got
That's
me.
what I got today.
Nah, bro, this a good one, though, man. This a good one. So, yeah, place your order right there, man.
Thank
Yeah.
you, brother.
And then the Afrobeats Podcast.
Yes.
For people that don't know, he's got his podcast
Yep.
where you're talking about, listen, all the legends and everything
Yep.
from Tu Baba, Oxlade, name them.
Yep.
He's had them on that platform.
Now, there's not, if you say name, there's like everyone that comes to the UK
It's
goes to Afrobeat podcast.
You know, so
That's-
for the UK, man, everybody has a self-settlement, bruv.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? You see Nigerians, Nigeria will go to Woolwich, Indians will go to here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For artists will go to Afrobeats
Afrobeat.
Podcast. You know what I'm saying?
but it's true, it's
You
true,
get
it's
me?
true.
So
Yeah,
how did that start, though?
Listen, I've been podcasting for years. I had
for
one
people that don't know,
called For the Love of Afrobeats with a friend of mine, and we did that for like 3 years, for a long time. But when you know how it is, when you're relying on other people for podcasts,
It's hard.
you know, it starts to get difficult because their schedule might not match your schedule, and all of a sudden things start getting messed up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw the podcast thing years ago. I was like, listen, man, this thing is about to blow. And I hit up, shout out to Not Just Okay. I hit up Not Just Okay, maybe in 2016. I'm like,
Shit,
yeah, I'm like, let's start a podcast. Let's do it together. We'll push it. And they didn't get it
a bit
at the
reluctant,
time.
yeah.
Golly.
So then I started doing For the Love of Afrobeats podcast. That one went until maybe like 2019, 2020. So during the pandemic, when the pandemic hit, there was a young brother around my house that he had told me he had a studio. And I just went to his studio around my house just to say hello. And when I walked into his room, he had like the microphone set up, he had a computer. And I'm saying to him, like, listen, bro, you could do anything in
Anything
here.
you want to
Anything.
Yeah.
And to prove a point, I sat down, I told him to turn on the computer microphone. I took my phone up, I started recording a video, and I recorded the first episode for the Afrobeats podcast.
No way. That's how it's
That's how it
How
started.
it
That's
started. It's
crazy.
still on my phone. And I recorded that video, boom. And I told him, send me the audio. I sent it to a friend of mine. Shout out to LM Media, Latif Martins. And
Shout out to
he just,
him, though.
yeah, that's my brother. And he just put the audio on the video that I downloaded from my phone. And we put it on YouTube. That was the first episode. And then I went back there maybe like a week after to record another episode. And that was it. The next thing, I just looked for a studio and it carried on. So the first episode for the Afrobeats podcast, I believe, was recorded and dropped between the 1st and 8th of October 2020.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And how's it right now? Like, how you finding it?
We
Are you loving it,
started-
though?
We started with maybe like 40 subscribers on YouTube.
That's how it starts, isn't it?
Yeah. And now we're about to hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube.
That's dope, man.
Major.
So that tells you, you know, how it's going, how it's been. It's been a fantastic journey. For me, I just want to use myself like as an example to every young person out there that
That it can be done.
don't worry, man. You know, at the beginning, you know, Latif, my brother, was hitting me up like, yo, let's get this person, let's get that person. You can call all these people. I said, don't worry. Let's focus on what we can get right now. What's in our reach. The other big stuff,
it's gonna
come
happen
later.
They'll
It's
come.
gonna happen.
I've seen this thing happen. I've been doing this for about 20 years. So I know what works. Nothing works better than consistently doing what you know how to do.
Right.
Is within your reach every single day.
Game.
That's it. Nothing else is gonna. You cannot get to the Drakes or the Burna Boy status by dropping a single tomorrow and hoping to have a big hit. No,
You have to
you're
put in the
going
work.
to have to do the simple things day after day until you
Connect.
get to it. That's it.
So they
what it
connect.
is. That's what it is.
And that's what's happened. And we've been blessed that, we've had support from the culture, a lot of trials and tribulations. You know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
But because of my persistence, my perseverance, one that God gave me, to be honest with you, and belief in just my ability, I think I've been able to ride that out. I've gone through a situation 2 times when my Instagram account's been taken down.
That's crazy. What happened?
So the first time, because the first time, that was before 2019, we were just posting videos, any kind of video anyhow.
Yeah.
And then by 2019, the licensing laws came and Instagram, the record labels went hard at Instagram. Yeah. So by that time, I'd posted so many videos license copyright infringement.
Yeah.
And then I think in 2019, I posted a video of Chris Brown and Davido, Blow My Mind, and that tipped it over. They took it away.
Because of that video. Wow.
Yeah, because that was like, that just maximized all
whole
my
thing.
flagrant,
Yeah.
And that was exactly around June. So June 2019, and I opened another Instagram account, and that was the first one I had since like 2013. So I opened another one in 2019, June, and by 2021, I had probably doubled the followership I had for about 5 years. But then, I think again, I must have posted a couple things. No, it was Premier League and UFC. So I posted a video from the Premier League and the UFC. Those are the ones you don't want to get copyright.
UFC especially.
UFC, they don't play.
They don't
because
play.
Remember, they're always dealing with people that are streaming
Yeah.
illegally.
Oh, yeah.
So they're so hard. Like
They clamp on it.
so I think I must have posted something from Usman, posted something from Style Bender.
Yeah.
And then I posted something from the Premier League. Boom.
And they came down on that.
And that on the 27th of September, I remember that day. That was the day that Zlatan had a listening in London that I hosted.
Yeah.
So I recorded a video there and I posted it, and boom, the Instagram account just went. And he had gone at about 180,000 followers. A lot of people were like, what? I hit up some of my good friends. Shout outs to Tuma, the head of Black Music at YouTube.
Shout out to you though.
They
bro.
linked me up with the head of like Instagram. And they were going back and forth with me, telling me, what we have to do. We have to email, Apple. So the third thing that I posted was, there was a video I reposted from Not Just Okay, which was a 15-second clip from the behind closed doors performance of Wizkid.
Oh, the
at the
Apple
listening.
one. Yeah, that very, very close-knit one. Yeah, they didn't want
is it?
nobody to see that one.
Yeah. So Not Just Okay, I posted something and I just let me just repost it. And I reposted from Not Just Okay. Boom. That just shut it down. So now they're telling me I have to go to Apple, hit up Apple. And come on, we've got connects, Tuma knows, bro, we know this person, that person. And the first person I hit up, which was like a high-ranking Apple officer here in the UK. So the thing about me is, I'm also, as playful as I am, as humble as I am, I'm also an Ekiti man
of course.
that has a little blood from the eastern side of Nigeria as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
you know?
well, okay.
Yeah, my grandma is from Ila, got family in Onitsha, Asaba, all that stuff. So
Our proper,
exactly.
The mixture
so
is
I've got
is-
a crazy
Yeah,
mixture.
yeah.
That once the pride just comes up, I'm like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, like it's up, innit?
Exactly. So So here is the YouTube guy chasing everybody at, a Facebook hit me up saying, no, there's no way, we need that account back. What you do for the culture is so important. And I'm like, wow. So I said, okay, and then they came back to me and said, Apple was one of the things. So I said, all right, let me hit up this Apple person that I know, top ranking person. So I hit her up and I'm like, is it possible? And she was like, the response was just so dead. I mean, that response came back. I'm like, why am I even asking
chasing his
for favor?
Right?
Like, I know what to do. What I did with my previous Instagram accounts, nobody else in the world was doing that. I used my account to serve the culture, to promote my people, my fun things, and I found my own tribe. They started to follow the account because they loved what it was about. So why beg people who might think that they're in a position to maybe air me today, come back tomorrow with some full stop messages? I said, nah, man, nah. Fuck. I'm a kitty man. Yeah. Fuck that.
Allow that.
I'm going to create my own Instagram account. So everybody started calling me. I said, nah, I know what I did the last time. I'm going to start another one. So in October, I started another account. And right now, as I speak, the account that I started 12 months ago has more followers than what
the
I
previous
had
one.
for 5 years.
That's the previous one, bro.
They can't stop you. They cannot stop.
So they can't stop genuine.
They can't stop the source.
That's it.
They
So
can't stop the
that's what
source.
I always, like when my friend was talking to me at the time, that account, I said, it's not social media, it's us. Where we go or what we say, that's where our people's going. Because that's what our people want to know. So don't worry about that. Now they're just going to empower us to create multiple accounts from TikTok to whatever, to all these things and blow it up. And by the grace of God, we started that. And that's what it's been now.
That's what it is, bro.
And it's also helped with the podcast.
Yeah,
So now I focused on the podcast on YouTube. I focused on the TikTok page. I focused on multiple platforms. And
that's what it is,
each
bro.
one of them have responded. So it's about just doing your little things every single day.
Step by step,
Believing in yourself and being genuine with what you're doing.
Fam.
And you find your tribe.
Listen, that's amazing because that's the same thing that we're basically actually doing. When we started this podcast and everything, it was just one of them ones, bro. Like, we sat together, we were like, yo, okay, should we do this? Let's do this.
Because these are the conversations you're having.
We have been having this conversation behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? But then I think the pandemic was a very beautiful, when you look at it was a very beautiful time for people to jump into the deep end in it.
Into creating things and starting things.
And that was basically what happens. We don't know nobody and everything, but we just said, let's do it. And slowly it's been like taking shape. Just like you said, like there's the humps and the bumps and everything.
That's
it's gonna happen.
That's normal.
You know what I'm saying? But where we are right now, when we look back 2.5 years ago,
that's when you know how far you've gone.
That's when you know how far you've gone.
There's progress.
Yes,
absolutely.
massive
there is
progress.
Absolutely. But where do you see the future of podcasting right now, though? You go on, because if you look at, across the pond.
Yes, in America.
If you look in America, bro, people are getting bag.
Yeah, but
people are getting to the bag over there. Like, you're talking about 100 mil, 15 mil. It's crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to understand that the United States of America has always been ahead of the game when it comes to media and entertainment.
And also, it's a capitalist country as well.
And it's just media and entertainment. You know, people want to be entertained. People want to receive their information from various platforms. The podcasting came at a time when a lot of people wanted uninterrupted entertainment. So radio was becoming too interrupted for them, and they said, okay, let's do satellite radio. So satellite radio started, like the Sirius FMs and all these things. And then after that, went to podcasting. And now podcast is just as important as radio and television and just as lucrative as those platforms.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, it's starting to trickle in here in the UK. As always, when you're in the mainstream always gets the bag.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It takes a little bit longer to get to
everybody else.
Specialist podcasts or platforms, unless you're doing crazy numbers that the algorithm, you're messing up the algorithm. Like, they have no choice but to come to you. They'll bring the bag.
Yeah.
But until then, we just have to stay in the game
And keep on building.
long enough, keep building
You just keep on building.
until that bag comes to.
Because the way the culture is going right now, how mainstreamish the culture is right now, I think it might happen though. I think it is gonna happen sooner or later, because if you look at music right now, if you look at like Afrobeats right now, people never thought Afrobeats was gonna get to the height that it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look at the money these guys are making right now, it's a whole different type of bag.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things which, I was going to attach to some of the topics that we're going to have today, is I'm a very big advocate of empowering our own. And I think the entertainers with the huge spotlights, I believe there's a responsibility
Or not?
to empower our platforms.
Absolutely.
If,
I see
you
where
know,
you're going with this.
So
I see where you're going with this.
and I'll talk about it a little bit into the whole Burna situation and stuff. But there's a responsibility that we
have to prioritize our own.
empower our own. At every intro of my podcast, I stay in there and I thank everybody for subscribing, liking, and tell them that we need the subscriptions. Fresh Off the Boat need the subscriptions.
On God with you.
So that we don't have to rely on other platforms to promote our own people and culture.
On God with you.
We can do it ourselves once we have the numbers.
We are all we have.
Do you understand what I mean?
We are all we have.
For us to have those numbers, when our stars become huge superstars, it will be nothing will be better than coming on
our own.
the Fresh Off the Boat podcast, the Afrobeats podcast, all of these platforms
God in heaven.
to give us those numbers and visibility.
True.
The conversation that Burna had with Zane Lowe, shout outs to Zane Lowe, one of the most iconic broadcasters and interviewers of all time.
Yeah.
But personally, I never watched that interview. I still haven't watched it.
Why is that?
You don't want to watch it? or-
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Because I decided sometime this year that perhaps me sharing and really being excited about our artists showing up on other platforms can somehow continue to encourage others that that's where they should go. When what I really want is for
them
you
to
to
come
come
to
to
our
us.
For you to come back home.
So
to us,
if I want to watch a hip hop interview now, I want to watch I saw Jeezy this week, I saw TIP this week, and I watched both interviews on the Breakfast Club, or Hot 97 Breakfast in the Morning, or Sway in the Morning, or $1 Million Worth of Game, or Big Boy's Neighborhood. Those are the platforms I go.
if I want to watch
If
hip
I want
hop,
to watch a hip hop interview, because I know Charlemagne, Sway, Big Boy, Ebro, and of course Wallow and Gilly will ask the question that the culture wants to know, that's beneficial for the culture. If I want to see a Jeezy interview, I'm not going to go to Jimmy Kimmel
Hell no.
for a Jeezy interview.
Hell no.
For TIP interview.
he's not in the culture.
It's just going to ask those questions that perhaps the culture
detriment to the
this
culture,
is just a celebrating moment. We're just but when we want the real stuff, we go to the Breakfast Club.
That's it.
We're gonna go to Ebro in the morning.
Yeah.
So if you want to do an Afro pop culture, Afro beats artist, African pop star artist, I want you to come to the Afrobeats podcast. I want you to go to Fresh Off the Boat podcast. I want you to go and see Edu. I want you to see Neptizo. I want you to see Dotun in Lagos. I want you to go on the Beat 99 FM. Big shout outs to the icon Davido. He did something that's unprecedented.
That
Unprecedented.
Was,
Davido in the same week did CNN and he did YFM in Ghana.
In Ghana, bro.
Yeah. Done it like that. People, I'm like,
Let them know, bro. Let them know.
He did the biggest platform in the world and he did the radio station across Lagos in Ghana. and everything in between, including myself.
Shit.
So you have to understand that in that week, not only was he giving the mainstream the biggest looks in the world, he also gave our culture reasons to grow.
He put it out there. The spotlight was out there.
There was a moment for like a whole week where if you type Davido into YouTube, the first interview that pops up was mine.
Yeah.
And then you had like Ebro in the morning, and then you had like CNN, and then you had
No,
the Beat
Afrobeats
99.
podcast was up there. Yeah,
You
that's where
understand what I mean?
Listen, bro.
I seen that
Listen,
one.
bro. I don't care, yeah, because I know that some of you lot out there talk sideways and everything. We still gonna jump into that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you your flowers because I'm not the type of person that says anything behind anyone.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it, brother.
In this culture, you are
Thank
you are on the same level.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
I
as a
appreciate it.
Charlemagne the God.
I appreciate it, brother.
You
That's
know what I mean?
wise.
No, big time.
That's a
You know what I mean?
huge
You are
compliment, man.
you are here, yeah, as a Charlemagne the God. You are here as a Ebro.
I appreciate
You know what I'm
it,
saying? Because the years that you've put into the game,
I appreciate it.
the sweat that
means
you
a
put
lot.
into the game and everything, yeah? And now you're reaping them benefits and everything.
appreciate
and
it, man.
and sometimes I look at the comments when you're doing
Yeah.
your lives and everything.
Yeah.
And I know we have a lot of toxic people that
Yeah,
that,
social media.
that project
Yeah, so-
whatever thing that they have.
Social media. So,
Nah, bro, it's a real shit.
yeah, the game has taught me a lot of lessons that I aim to teach a lot of young people. You are not, as Charlemagne the God said, as great as they say you are, and you are not as bad as they say you are. And for you to progress, there are certain types of comments and conversations that you don't even pay attention
You
to.
don't even pay no mind.
Anything that is a negative criticism instantly should just be put aside.
Listen, I
If
laugh
it's a
sometimes.
criticism that is going to help you grow, then you pay attention
Then
to
you pay
it.
attention to it.
So I think, those are some of the lessons that I've learned from the culture. And really, that's one of the reasons why now I don't watch all of this mainstream stuff and stuff like that. I adore the platforms I mentioned.
Yeah.
Drink Champs. These are things I go to religiously
To watch.
and go and watch
Yeah.
for information, style of interviews, some type of incredible conversations. But I also believe that for our own Afro pop culture, we need these guys to come and feed our culture.
Absolutely.
If they, when you are a superstar, it's amazing to have a two-faced Dibia.
On your shit. Yeah.
Like, that's for me, that's like the craziest thing ever.
You just said something right now. Kels, I don't know if I told you this. I swear to God. I hit you up. I said, bro, how can I get Two-Face on the podcast?
Yes.
You know what he did?
And I do.
He sent me the number
Of the personal
of the
assistant.
person. He said,
the manager.
"Yo, straight up.
That's how I got it.
Straight up.
That's the same way.
Sure.
So I hit someone up. I said, Two-Face is in town. He said, yeah. I said, bro, I want to. And the guy sent me that same number, Frankie.
You sent it to me. Straight up. He said, hit
Straight
this guy
away,
up.
hit him up. That's it. That's how I hit him up and said, listen, man, Two-Face is we cannot celebrate these guys unless they show up on our platform.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And then people get excited and even more interested in our culture when they see how excited we are
Absolutely.
to have these guys on our platforms, those conversations and stuff like that. And for me, I've gone through all the phases. I've gone through the media phase. I've gone through the critic phase. I've gone through the fan phase. The phase that I'm at right now is an enthusiast, a supporter of the culture.
You give game.
That's where I'm at. Anything that's going
negative,
to be
yeah.
negative,
You've
like,
got no
it's
time
not
for it.
gonna. What benefit? Like I turned on social media 2-3 days ago, and everybody was hanging Burna Boy.
That shit was crazy.
Listen, brother.
That shit was crazy.
Okay, you can. First of all, did you watch the full interview? Because I didn't. So I'm not about to jump into a commentary about a 30-second 45 clip.
Yeah.
Let's start that one.
Yeah.
Number two, what message are we sending to the entire world when one of our leading faces and ambassadors is slaughtered by the powers that be on social media? Think
crazy.
about that. For 1 second, When Sway Lee went on social media and said, "Oh, shout outs to Nigeria, Amapiano,"
They did the
when he
same
was
thing to him.
basically saying it was the Nigerian brother or sister that introduced me to
him to
the.
it,
That was basically what saying, yeah.
We went on social media and
killed
we
him.
slaughtered him. Now, this is a visitor in our culture. What did we tell him in that moment? We told him how disjointed we are, how disunified we are, how disrespectful we can become, how negative we are at each other. That same day, he found out that South Africa and Nigeria has a running beef.
Yeah.
Loggerheads,
Yeah.
basically. Yep.
That's a fact.
In one day.
That's a fact.
So where I am now is, how does people feel? How are we projecting ourselves to the rest of the world? What are people saying about us? We look, I saw the Burna Boy social media clip like everybody else, and I took my time because about 10 months ago, Wizkid went on social media, not on social media, during an interview, said that hip-hop was dead.
Yeah.
And I came online to say, if you read the interview and the context of that interview,
He was talking about American hip hop though.
he was talking about hip hop generally. He wasn't even speaking specifically about Nigerian hip hop or African hip hop. He was talking about the decline of hip hop. Check what? Fast forward 10 months after, in 2023, it's been reported that for the first time in 15 or 20 years, hip hop hasn't had a #1 Billboard record in the Hot 100
This year.
this year. It's been reported that this is the first time in 20 years.
Yeah.
And that there has been an official decline in the growth of hip hop, leading to one of the biggest faces in black culture in the world, in the legend Ibro Darden, coming out 2 weeks ago,
That was crazy.
saying that he had a conversation with the record label executives who confirmed to him that they will not be signing hip-hop artists anymore because they're focusing on Latin American and the African continent because that's where the growth is.
Yep.
Guess what?
We got it here.
It seems like Wizkid was right.
He said that. He said that a long time
9 months
ago.
But you know what, yeah?
And
Okay,
when
go on.
people like us came out, everybody got slaughtered for it. And for me, the lesson I learned then, even though I didn't give a damn about what social media was saying, because I knew exactly where Wizkid was I had said something on social media that ultimately made me feel like a true YC who I had served with my life under the bus. And guess what? I didn't even know at the time. So when I posted it saying YC, because YC was one of the people that had responded to Wizkid. So I'm coming out saying YC, not you, because there are so many things I know that Wizkid had done for you, but I did that publicly. And
I think he was coming for you as well. So I was saying something about you.
it was because I had said that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because I said that and said, nah, not you, YC. If anybody else.
Not E.
But
Not
when
you.
I did that, my brother, shout out Michael Tubes, he called me up and he
Shout
said,
out to you, bro.
he knew what we had sacrificed for YC and how we built this young man up and how we put our lives on the line for this guy. And he said, what you did, I know your message was not meant the way it came out on social media, but what it looks like is that you threw your own brother under the bus.
Yeah. Right.
And when he said that to me on the phone, I didn't get it because I just said, nah, man, this ain't it, and that's it. But about a couple hours later, I picked him up in the car. We were going somewhere, we're coming south. And he started a conversation again respectfully and said, bro, I just wanted to respectfully have this conversation because it's been on my mind. Because it was me and you. You called me the first time YC ever came to London. And we started to build this guy. And what you posted on social media and your commentary seemed like you had put your own brother under the bus. And at that moment, I got it. And I got it so much that when I went to Nigeria, I apologized on public radio. Shout out to Kemi Smalls, and Bankuli was in the building.
Shout out to you.
And I had to apologize because I didn't like the way I felt.
You came across,
Yes. You know, so when I saw this Burna Boy situation, the first thing I put on my stories was make sure you watched or read the entire interview and make your own opinions up about him, and don't be influenced by all the commentary and chatter on social media and what people think about what he said and how people are reacting to what he said and all of those things. If I had something to say to Burna about where I thought I disagreed with him,
You say it to him
face
to face.
I'll pull him aside and probably have a conversation with him. And I think he would appreciate that, because I don't know the context of where his mind was and what he was trying to say when he said, 90% had no substance. Yeah. But I believe that in his heart of hearts,
he doesn't believe
that 90%.
Is that exactly what was telling you as well?
There is no,
there's no way. We're having that conversation,
in his heart of hearts, it's impossible to say that. And again, what I mean is, by the context in the mind, remember, Burna is another fan of music, another fan of the culture.
He's a student of the game.
To him, substance might solely be lyrical ability.
Yep.
Whereas to a lot of other people, some other people, they prefer production. Some people like melodies. Other people appreciate rhythms. We have individual substance that we're soaking from a particular genre. And we know that as Nigerians, as Africans, we're going through so much that we turn to our music for a variety of reasons. Some people turn to it for inspiration, leadership, information. Some people solely for entertainment.
They just want to have a good time.
They just want to have a good
Majority
time.
Of people,
and to them,
I would say
that is substance. Do you understand what I mean? But knowing Burna and where he completed that conversation, and that's one of the reasons why I said, when you are being interviewed by people within the culture that understand the culture, knowing where he wanted to go, if that was me,
you would have taken him there.
I know how I would get him there, because ultimately what Burna was trying to say is, when you listen to my music, you get a picture of who I am.
Boom.
And I know everybody agrees with him. If you listen to Burna Boy's music from day one, you know exactly what type of man he is, what he's inspired by, how he loves his women, how he appreciates his guys, if his war is war. He's on it. That's his music.
He's on it.
Whereas we know within the Afrobeats culture, not a lot of people are like that, where their art is self-reflective of who they are. But it's not a knock against anyone. It's not a knock.
I guess sometimes, I guess sometimes this is, because this whole thing, is a very funny one. Now, I would say personally, from my own point of view, I do not disagree with what he said.
90% though?
Yeah, I do not disagree with what he said. I guess my whole thing is, because when I thought about the whole thing, I watched the whole interview. Yeah, the way I looked at it is, when we have, let's say, an in-house problem, right? Or family problem.
We don't take it to the world.
You don't take it to the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
You don't take it to the world, especially when your neighbors are looking at your family like, yo, these guys are always together. These guys like the movement, right?
There's no problem with it.
Yeah, because they don't know what's happening on the inside. Right? So to me, it's not what he said, but where he said it.
Again, this is where, with me having the grace where Michael Tubes could phone me and then get in the car and say, bro, you shouldn't have done it that way.
Yeah.
I personally,
face to face,
he deserves that grace too.
So
this is one of the reasons why recently, if you see some of the posts that I'm putting on social media, I'm trying to make people understand that these guys are human beings too. Yeah. This is a human being who could possibly be trying to say something, and for a reason he couldn't articulate it properly.
He came across the wrong way.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so the grace that you expect to be given, you should once in a while afford that to someone else. Especially when I looked on social media and I see some people with questionable characters calling Burna Boy names. Like, how crazy that is. You know, it's like, you know, when we had like an entertainer, a superstar entertainer within our culture that had relationship scandals online and alleged relationships here and there. And a lot of people had the cheek to go on social media to attack them. But you yourself haven't been faithful all your life.
The difference is people don't know you.
Bro, yes. but you know yourself. So I'm now mature enough to start saying that I am not credible enough to comment on that mistake. Because I know myself that I'm full of them too.
Yeah. Oh God, bro,
You're full of shit.
You know what? You know what? You know what I mean? Like, it's that situation of don't throw the stone if you live in a glass house. You know what I mean?
Man.
We had to learn that because we had to learn that,
come
right?
on,
Because none of us here are media savvy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had to gangster our way into this.
Yeah.
Right? So we had to learn that. And some of the episodes that we've done, sometimes we go and be like, bruh, you get me?
I said that.
If people know some of the shit that we do, you get
exactly.
me? You get me? You know? So because of that, I always try to afford these people
you
like
have to.
that grace.
You have
You
to,
know?
like, it's important now. And for me, I've been blessed to be in certain circles where I've seen these people a little bit more closer than a lot of people have. And, you know, I see some of the challenges that some of them are going through.
They're not superheroes at all.
Someone like Burna Boy has had, you know, a kind of testy relationship with the media in Nigeria for a while.
Are you talking about Nigeria, bro? Have you seen?
You know, have
you seen the article from Rolling Loud?
Yeah, but Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone.
Who wrote that article?
That was crazy.
Who wrote it? Is he a Nigerian? Is he an African?
Nah.
I don't know.
Check his name. Let's check the name. Check the name.
Is it? Nah, I doubt it.
Check. It might be an African. It might be someone
Bro,
that has the background.
I think it's an African that wrote that.
Didn't you see the
There's
person?
no way. There's no way.
So
yeah?
didn't you see the person that gave the criticism of Asake's concert on the Guardian newspaper and gave him 2 stars?
That was crazy.
It's a Nigerian. It's a Nigerian British that did that. You know, saying that it was underwhelming. That the tribute he paid at the beginning was underwhelming. You're criticizing someone for trying to do something right. And in my opinion, Asake's performance was 12 over 10. Organization was 12 over 10. Stage production was 12 over 10. But what did they run into? They ran into security services and senior management of the property that said, there is no way you're going on.
You can't
Plus,
go on.
yes.
Why is that?
They refused that a percentage of the ticket holding audience has to be in the building before the headline artist goes on stage because that avoids the stampede at the door.
Stuff that happened last year,
And I had picture evidence of Asake on that
seen that.
helicopter
Sorry.
at 8:32 p.m.
They're waiting.
Waiting to
Oh,
go
so
on.
that must have been the thing that kind of threw him off a little bit. Like he must have been feeling that way
Of
about
course,
it.
he was
like
held back
his
for-
first big show.
He
at the
was
O2.
held back for 1.5 hours. Something you prepared months for. You were ready to get on. And they held you back for 1.5 hours. Of course, that might hold you back. But still, in my opinion, one of the most incredible performances at that venue in the last couple of years.
Nah, bro, he did his thing on that one. I'm not gonna lie. He did his thing on that one, considering the stage and everything. And bro, just like about 2 years ago, he was doing like club tours and everything.
He
Like,
basically,
and then 2 years later, bro,
he basically exploded in December 2021.
basically.
So
crazy.
between December 2021 and August 2023, he was
doing
performing
OT.
at the 20,000 full
capacity.
arena
That's
in
great.
London. So you have to look at, so when you're about to critique his performance, you take everything into perspective. You look at what happened sadly last year that was out of his control, but deemed to have been the security and management of the building's responsibility. Remember, this is an artist on stage, and the security and management of the building were held responsible for managing the audience that went through the door, and sadly letting lives get lost.
They were held responsible. They are responsible.
Exactly. So now, fast forward to 2023, where he's had a performance again. And now the security and management has come into play to say, we're not going to let that same thing happen here. So you're not getting on stage until over 80% or whatever walks into the building. Yeah. Unfortunately for the African fans, because we knew he was supposed to get on stage at 8:30, all 10,000 of us turned up at the door at 8:15.
That's crazy.
And
so
I think that's
I don't know why we do that shit.
We need to talk about that because I see in one of your lives you did touch on it on the Wizkid time because I was there. Like,
he was at the Wizkid.
I thought I was running late with Wizkid. I'm there, but a bunch of people outside. And I'm thinking
hanging
I'm late.
Around, they're talking, buying food.
It's like the vibe was outside.
The vibe was outside.
And I'm
instead of in the stadium.
Inside, I'm like, yo, what is going on?
So that impacts the performance. It impacts the set time. It impacts what time they shut down the lights. It impacts everything. Yeah. And then it impacts ultimately the criticism that the artists, their management and their team gets the day after. Not knowing that these are the things that happen behind closed doors and they can't come out to say it. And we just have to afford these people a little bit of responsibility, a little bit of grace, unless they're being total asses where they don't give a damn. But in most cases, it's not the case. Even with the Burna Boy situation in Nigeria in December, he put out a public statement that said the production quality was lower than what I was promised.
That's why.
And when I got to the venue, it was not what it was supposed to be. So if I had gone on stage with shoddy sound, shoddy lighting, shoddy production, y'all would have criticized my ass the next day for not putting a performance that was worthy of what you were seeing online that he's putting up in the UK and Germany and America.
Bro, how can you go from there to there? It's going to throw you off.
Exactly.
It's going to throw you off.
But we don't see that. A lot of fans don't see that. They only see what the top commentary is. Oh, Burna Boy says Afrobeats is 90% dud or whatever of the culture, and everybody starts to attack him about, his disrespect for Afrobeats and stuff like that. We also have to be honest. From day one, we've seen interviews of Burna Boy since 2013 where he's never really agreed with the term Afrobeats.
He's never agreed with that box.
Never agreed with that box.
He's never agreed with it. He respects Afrobeat, but he never agreed to being in the box of Afrobeats with an S. He always said he was Afrofusion. Yeah. If you look at it, his first major hit, Like to Party, was R&B, Afro Bashment. The second massive hit was Tonight.
Yep.
Tonight was completely out of our own genre. Tonight was something else that we'd never heard before. And that was the second hit. If you look at Wombolombo was something else. Yeah. Wombolombo something was like reggae, dancehall, Afrobeat. So from day one, that brother's been playing with sound.
He's been playing with sounds, bro. I told people this, even this new album, don't expect anything that you've heard before. It's a whole different shit. Yeah. But when we get to that, before we get to that, so what do you say to people, right, that feel like, okay, are you saying that we should never criticize these people? Are you like, what are you saying? Because I get DMs sometimes, bro. Fam, if I play you,
you don't want to see my messages,
bro. If I play you one that came in last night, I swear to God, I listened to it. I was laughing as hell.
You don't want to see.
Let me just play that. You get me? I played that. I was laughing as hell.
You don't want to see my messages.
These are the people.
Telephone calls, people calling me, almost like threatening me, like, yo, man, we want to hear what you want to say about this. That
was basic.
And the thing is, they don't just want to hear it. They want to hear you say what they think you have to say.
Exactly.
So it's not like I'm speaking my mind now. You want me to speak for you.
Exactly. You want me to reflect exactly what you're saying. Yeah. So for me, if you're a critic of the culture, I saw people like Joey Akan,
bro, he's going hard on Twitter.
Those are journalists, those are critics that have done that for years. Yeah. And there's a space for that. Every industry for that. Yeah. Absolutely. They have a right to critique albums, entertainers, personalities, actions, responsibilities. That's fine.
It's their job, basically.
That's their job.
Yeah.
But there's some of us that are in the supporter, fan, enthusiast role. And if you look at an enthusiast, the definition of an enthusiast, in that definition says that we are looking for the positives and the elevation of whatever it is that we're supporting.
Of the culture. So basically...
So we there's supposed to be a room for us too.
Absolutely.
Where we balance out the criticisms and we do criticize. We do have conversations with artists, but we just would not
Don't go outside the house.
and do it publicly. I've done that before. I've criticized artists for the but in most cases now, I will find better ways where they'll be able to understand. So, for example, when the world was attacking Wizkid, he pushed back. Yeah, that was why he now responded even worse and started, on Snapchat.
But you know what?
That was defensive, and that was because he wasn't happy of what he was getting. Same as Burna Boy. If you listen to the thanks song and stuff like that, that's pretty much
like a reaction.
It's a pushback.
Yeah. Do you know what? You brought up this Wizkid one. Yeah. I was very disappointed in that whole scenario. Let me tell you why. When I heard what he said, I understood very well what he was talking about.
That's why I said.
Because he was talking about, he wasn't bashing the African rappers and everything.
He was trying to elevate the African culture.
Yeah, but then I was disappointed.
Because people didn't read the article.
Because at that point, if you're a basketball player, he gave them the alley-oop, right? You're supposed to dunk it, right? So now he did that. The spotlight was now on the rappers, right? But you know what they did? Going back and forth on social media.
Bashing him,
on social media. Tweeting on social media. Like, the light was there for someone to get into the studio, right? And now come up with bars. You go what I mean? Not for Wizkid, but say, yo, you know what, this spotlight is on us right now. You go what I mean? The people that are bashing him, cool, that's on you. But now we have this shit. Let's just say, you know what? The rap game is still here. Because in the Afro culture, they still need a lane for that. You go what I mean? And what's this boy's name again? The boy that did the song with Ludacris.
Black Bones.
Black Bones. That boy is something else.
I'll tell you this. Even for hip hop internationally, I think what Afrobeats is becoming will ultimately be a blessing for hip hop.
Yeah.
French Montana, Sway Lee, and Lowe just dropped a record.
That's
obviously, infused Afro sounds.
That's sick.
We had a Travis Scott, and I think it's Maluma or Anuel or whatever. That was an Afrobeat sound. Yeah. So what's happening is, whatever it is that perhaps hip hop might be missing a little bit, their brothers and sisters from the Afro culture can add a little sauce to it. Because hip hop is the original culture that laid the blueprint for all of us.
For every other thing.
So there is no way that Afrobeats will be winning and we want hip hop not to be doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
True. We need all the black cultures winning. We need reggae winning, dancehall winning. We need hip hop winning. That's how we get that energy back into the black culture. Yeah. So I feel like each one of these ones can add a little bit of sauce to each other. And again, like I said, there's just that space for us and I want fans to take the time. Rather than attacking this, ladies and gentlemen, just because they're making a lot of money, working super hard, you also have to remember that these guys are human beings. Yeah. We just heard that sadly, Wizkid lost his parent.
Rest in peace.
So he must have been dealing with that doing the Tottenham concert.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And people were doing what they were doing online, attacking a man who was going through the hardest time of his life.
Why are we like that?
Exactly. So now, when the news came out, that was one of the messages I posted on social media. Now you know what this young man was going through when we were begging him, we were asking him just to be jumping up and down on stage in London, when he had real life situations to deal with.
Do you know what? When I realized that we have a big problem in this culture, is, God bless Davido when he lost his son. Right? And even at that,
People were still
people were still coming at this dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like thinking, yo, this guy just lost his son. Right? People were still coming at him, right? Now, Wizkid as well. I just don't understand this whole mob camp mentality that we have. I don't know how it started.
Yeah, but do you think, I was going to ask you this, but do you think, like, because I think sometimes these artists, they kind of ride on it.
Sometimes, though, sometimes, yes.
Do you think, like, is that like a respect? I mean, due to that, is that why we're where we are now? Obviously, there's the cons, but we know the pros to be like, you know, people, the fans will go hard for you and all that stuff. But then again, the cons. So is it really okay to dismiss it because we enjoy the pros?
Yeah,
and then.
But sometimes, of course, when the pros, that's a solid point. Yeah. The pros are there. They help you promote your album. They make noise about your singles. But the negatives now is starting to trickle into real life. Yeah. When they're attacking Davido on behalf of Wizkid, they're attacking Wizkid on behalf of Davido. They're attacking Burna Boy on behalf of both of them. And remember, like I said, these guys are human beings too. And one of those tweets, one of those messages, we've seen Davido respond to tweets. We've seen Burna Boy respond to tweets.
Yeah, that dying one was crazy, yeah.
Where one of them will just touch you and you're like, how could you say this? You know, so that is now starting to come into real life. Whereas for me, I've completely almost abandoned Twitter.
Yeah, it's toxic over there.
There's no point.
It's toxic.
It's not human beings that are there. There's no point. Just leave it alone. You know, if Instagram gets to a point where I think that a lot of people on that platform too are useless, I'll abandon it. And go, bro, for your peace of mind.
How do you deal with the hate? Because the reason why I said this is I'm just gonna play something. Something that I just got yesterday. And I literally laughed, bro. This is what someone sent to me.
Can you imagine?
Toby, I didn't hear you say a word. All the rubbish Burna Boy was saying about Afrobeats. I see you keep silent. Or you come out with all your colleague there, just come and be saying lies to people. Don't say the record straight. That useless Burna Boy ungrateful.
This is what
poverty is a disease. You were talking jargons about Afrobeats. And I know you now. It will come out now. Come be flying up about the record, the album release. You always carried away supporting lie about useless Grammy Award, fake Grammy Award they were giving them.
This is what someone said to me.
Taking advantage of African artists. And they will sit down there, be commenting rubbish. Toby, you will not always be honest. I'm telling you the fact. I'm sorry. You don't be honest with your behaviors sometimes.
Bro, let me tell you something.
But this is the thing, though.
I had close friends pick up the phone to call me to say, nah, so what you gonna say? Here goes your ambassador. Yeah. So what you gonna say now? So I'm like, okay, I might feel a certain way because I'm a supporter of Afrobeats. But that young man also has his right to say what he wants to say. However, how are we so sure that how the words came out was exactly what he wanted to say? Because remember...
Because I don't think that's where he wanted to...
So remember, he's speaking to somebody not from our culture who didn't have the right follow-up questions to guide him where he wants to go. You have to understand these things.
Yep.
So, because it's a legend like Zane Lowe, who's a pop icon and whatever, he's learning about Afro pop culture. And he's speaking to one of the figureheads. So he's like, just keep talking.
Yeah. And to me, that's the reason why I said earlier, I don't care what people say. I do not have a problem with what he said. You know what I mean? Is there some credence to it?
Yes. Man, I do have a problem.
90%.
90%.
No, 90%.
Yeah. This is the reason why I said I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Two things can be true, right?
Yeah.
Are there a lot of songs out there that is just vibes, good time, like he said? Yes. But then when you flip that coin, right? Like we were discussing earlier, someone like Asake that sings in Yoruba,
Yes.
right? White people cannot understand what he's saying,
But they
right?
vibe with it.
But they vibe to it. So what does that tell you? The vibe is the language of Afrobeats.
Yeah, but again,
You go what I'm saying? It is a language.
again, people also forget the fact that, regardless of Burna Boy being a musician, he's also a fan.
Yep.
So in his own opinion, like I said, substance to him.
Yeah, he wants
might mean
more substance.
Lyrical.
Lyrics.
That's it. So he's speaking on his own opinion. Now, where we can disagree with him and try to teach him or show him something better is to say, listen, you could say that, but you could also own that as your own thoughts, and probably we would not love for
want
you
you
to
to say
it
over
there.
there.
That's what we can share with him, but not go online and say this guy is an ungrateful bastard. This guy doesn't give a damn about the culture. He wants Afrobeats dead. He
does. He's come from there.
Yeah,
So there's,
bro.
To me,
come from that.
to me, that's just where I had the problem because you shouldn't have said it there. Because the reason is someone like Zane Lowe, they are probably looking in from the outside. Yeah, people like him and everything.
But we have to
They are
afford him.
probably looking at us like, yo, these guys are together, this movement and everything.
But we have to afford him the grace. The same grace that we want as human beings when we make a mistake, that we have people like Michael Tubes to pull me not once, twice on the same subject before I got it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Michael Tubes, you need to come on the platform, bro.
Yeah.
Because you are a legend when the photography thing, man. You've been on it. You got me.
Absolutely.
I've been hitting you up, bro. You need to come
It's
on this
gonna
platform,
come.
bro.
So
Salute.
it's like the fact that he hit me up twice to make me realize that, nah, brother, there was an error there. So why don't we afford that same grace to say, hey, Burna, listen, I understand that you're pushing the Afrofusion thing because that's your conversation.
That's your
That's
thing,
how
yeah.
you've made music.
Yeah.
Your music is about fusion of different sounds, and that has been you from day one. Whoever listens to your music gets a vibe of what type of person you are, what your love life is like, what the family like. That's you as a musician, but not everybody else can do that. And by you saying it this way, some people might perceive it as
Might
this,
take it the wrong way,
and
yeah.
then he'll be like, "Oh man, for real, I wasn't thinking about that." What if he said that? What if he says that and he says, "I swear, I was just thinking like, yo, not for the man them. I just, that's just."
Yeah.
That's what I say.
But we've killed him now. We've gone to the world and told the world, including whoever wrote the Rolling Stone article,
This is crazy.
to say, call this man names.
But-
The same star that we saw come from clubs
To stadium.
to HMV Apollo, to Brixton Academy, to OVO Arena, to O2 Arena, and now
London Stadium.
West Ham Stadium.
yep.
And he's currently been touring just stadiums around the world, promoting Afro-pop culture. The same one that sang Soke, the same one that sang, which one is it? Dangote. The same one
All
that
them
sang
Afrobeat tunes. Yep.
all the one that he sang with Manifest. All those ones where he was speaking about the problem. He sang Whiskey last year, where he spoke about the black suit problem in Port Harcourt City. The same artist that anytime he gets on stage anywhere in the world, before he takes a moment of over 60 to 70 seconds where he holds up a jersey that has PH City and he introduces himself with music about his Port Harcourt City, the place that he loves so much. The same guy that took the Grammy Awards, represented Nigeria, spoke to the African youth across Africa that it could be done. The dreams can be achieved. That same one, we now turn around and say he's a prodigal son.
That's crazy.
For me, I just think personally, I think we have to find a better way. That's just me personally. We have to find a better way of connecting. When you listen to Thanks, where he talks about the fact that people in Nigeria said his mom was a fella dancer. People in Nigeria said that he had allegedly shot at a man because of a girl. People in Nigeria said that he was crazy. People in Nigeria, you can see the list of issues that he's had over the years with the media that we're part of, the criticisms that he's received, and how he's held on to it so much to say for Nigeria, no love.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
True.
And now, my thing is, we now have to find a way to also tell him that, that is not a representation of the entire country or the entire culture. Some people might have had voices on social media, whatever that they said, whatever it is that they said. But if you look at it, the HMV Apollo was full of Nigerians. Brixton Academy was full of Nigerians. OVO Arena was full of Nigerians. O2 Arena was full of Nigerians. The West Ham Stadium was a Nigerian party.
Of Nigeria.
New York City, City Field was a Nigerian party. So there are Nigerians all over the world and Africans all over the world that appreciate the music, appreciate his artistry, his ambassadorial duties, and we see it. And we can find a way to make sure that everybody sees where the critics and criticisms are coming from, and where they've been attacking him wrongly as well, and try to say, listen, how can we make sure that, because it's not positive.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, if you make a song that's going to live on wax forever, and you say, in my country, Nigeria, there's no love, that some of us will continuously listen to. It's a heartbreaking moment.
Why do you think he had? Why do you think that relationship? Yeah, why do you think that relationship is toxic the way it is? I'm talking about between Burna and whether the media or the trolls or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do you think? Where did it go wrong?
It's a different personality.
Do you think it's the ego?
No, it's a different personality, bro. We're human beings. There's 6 billion people on this planet. And everybody has an individual personality. And sometimes you might not have come across a personality before. Or sometimes, for some reasons, you might just not like someone's personality. And then in Nigeria, we have this notion of humility, asking people to be humble in our own definition. Every time he has to come with his hand in between his legs, saying, thank you, man. Sir. We appreciate you for all you've done, sir. So if you don't come with that type of humility,
you're wrong.
That means this guy's got an ego problem, this guy's got a problem. Listen, everybody has different personalities. To be honest with you, I've seen him in close quarters. And when you see Burna Boy in close quarters where he's comfortable,
he's a cool guy.
He's childlike. Yeah. Whenever he's around his family, he's like a young kid. He's just smiling. He's just happy. And that's why they created that bubble around him.
His mom and everyone.
It's the family, those that make him feel the most comfortable, because outside of that bubble, there's a sense of insecurity about what anybody else might think of who he is or what he's like, And if you look at someone like Wizkid as well, he's got his own circle around him where you usually wouldn't see nothing, and you just, what you see is the little that we share, And I think that's one of the problems. And again, I don't think he likes interviews. Probably because
he's very comfortable in it.
Because he feels like there's a misrepresentation
of him
whenever he talks.
Of him.
So because he's constantly gotten that for near enough a decade now, your back is going to be up. As a human being, your back is up. And I'll share something. This is like a personal experience with me where, like, in my relationship, I feel like sometimes, oh man, maybe my missus is just, she's on me too much and just on me for nothing, man. I haven't even done nothing. I ain't said nothing. And then all of a sudden, even before she tries to have a conversation with
Your
me,
back's already up.
You're already.
Your back is already up.
here comes the monster.
Yeah.
I pull up a wall. I've got that, I'm in a completely different state. And I'm having to think to myself,
Bro, what
she
you
ain't
doing?
even done nothing.
Yeah, what you doing?
She ain't done nothing. She ain't said nothing. She's just come around you and said, let's talk. And instantly I'm like, nah, man.
Your back is up.
Here goes the criticism.
Yeah.
And that's a personal experience.
Yeah.
So imagine if that was a media relationship that had gone
How
over 10
amplified
years.
that would be.
Especially people that you probably don't even know like that.
Social media and Twitter and stuff like that. So
Amplifies it,
instantly you become defensive every time you're in a conversation, because what people have shown him is that they're looking for gotcha moments.
Got your moment, yeah.
Gotcha moments.
When I look at Burna, Burna strikes me as Kanye West to some extent. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's got
Creative.
the creative thing. Yes, he's got the ego, which I love. You know what I'm saying? Because
helps his
I'm not
music.
gonna lie,
He
helps
helps
his
his
music.
He knows who he is.
Yeah, he knows who he is.
You
That's
know who he is.
exactly what you said.
You
He
know who you
knows
are.
who he is, and when you know who you are, a lot of people project their insecurities
On you.
On you. You got me? And that's the reason why when people were killing Kanye West for his pride, obviously when you listen to his music and he's talking all that shit, right? His interviews, the way he was moving and all that shit, people are killing. Bro, I was one of the people that say, yo, I love that shit. So when I look at him and say I love that shit, I cannot turn around and look at Burna and say, you know what I'm saying?
My father told
That,
me.
I love that shit.
My father told me as a young man, I'm talking like probably about 12 years old. He said, peculiarity is a sign of greatness. So if you have something peculiar about you, this is a father trying to instill confidence in his son that against bullies and whatever it is, if they think you're weird, you're this, you're that, just because you're peculiar, you're great.
You're great.
So I've always thought like that. Imagine how that could manifest if I was a musician.
Bro, that would be crazy.
Knowing fully well, my dad already told me from age 11
You're special.
that this boy's
You
special.
were great. Yeah.
So I'm everywhere I walk, talk, engage with people. I know you ain't on my level
You have to
because the
exceed
person
that
that brought me
greatness,
to
yeah.
this world already told me
That you guys
that
are on
I'm
my
the
level.
greatness.
Yeah.
So you never know what kind of conversations
He has with his mom.
he has with his mother or his father or people that had
close
seen
to
this
him.
thing in him for
early.
years.
Before any of us saw it.
Come on, man.
Which is the reason why I say he reminds me of Kanye West, because if you look at the Kanye West documentary and look at that relationship with his mom, you get me, bro?
Special.
His mom was rapping to his songs
she
when
was
nobody
she was
gave
it.
a fuck about him.
Yeah, she was it.
You get what I'm saying? So when I look at Burna, that's what, because his mom is there.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know, and bro, I don't care what anybody says, bro. That dude is, listen, he's a monster. When it comes to this music thing,
What do you think about the album, though?
I love the album. I love the album. To me, personally, my opinion, that album is up there because in his discography, I would say up there is African Giant for me. This album is up there with African Giant.
Oh, wow.
I swear to God, me personally, I put on that album when he first dropped and everything, yeah. Apart from the skits, the skits, I love it. The Virgil one and everything, the Wu-Tang one and all that shit. But I didn't really put too much mind on the skits. I just listened to the songs and everything, bro. I did not skip one track. You get what I'm saying? One track. You know, except the one with J. Cole. I love it.
Well,
You
the
get what I
minute he
mean?
started talking about Nigerians, you felt personal about it.
Yeah, I kind of felt, oh man, you know what I mean? I kind of felt like,
You felt like he was talking to you, like, nah,
Yeah,
man,
man, I
Burna,
felt
nah,
like, yo,
man, not
dude,
me, Burna.
bro.
Come on, bro.
bro, I just want to have a good time, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No need for this seriousness.
Yeah, bro. I just want to have a good time. But apart from that, cause the album, listen. It's up there.
What about you? What
Nah, it's up there, but to say on par with African Giant, nah, that is
Bro, that's me, bro.
nah. It's a good album. Like it's a good album, but I wouldn't say it's his best album. Or my personally.
Okay, what album do you think is his best album, though?
But African Giant.
African, but okay.
Yeah, African Giant. I mean, for me, I kind of like all the if it's just early time, so I think this album will still grow on me, but I kind of like Love Damini more. Like,
Shit.
right now, if you ask me now, like, like Love Damini had that moment where, I've not had that with this album yet. Not saying it's not a good album.
Yeah.
It's a great album, but I think it will take time for me to put it up there.
For me, I think at that level, that your Burners, your Wizes, your Davidos, your Tiwa Savage, Yemi Alade, Olamide, these people are in. Whenever they drop projects and albums, it's impossible to say, first of all, it's not a good album. Because what are the elements of a good album? Production,
Yep.
sound quality,
Take.
writing ability,
Take.
vocal dexterity,
Take. A
choruses,
Picture, a picture.
painting a picture.
Take.
So those elements are there. So straight away, it ticks
That's
all
a
the
good
boxes.
album, yeah.
Exactly, it ticks all the boxes. Now, individually, as fans, there are different things that we've come to projects for. As African Giant Burna Boy fan, you're coming to a Burna Boy album wanting African elements, a lot more African elements, a lot more Afrobeats records. Because with African Giant, that was the statement. The statement was not only did he play with a variety of sounds, but he led heavily on the Afro sound.
yeah.
So are you talking about strictly the album African Giant?
Yeah, so I'm saying a fan that comes from that.
Okay.
Once if that was your first introduction to Burna Boy, what you're looking at whenever he drops an album is always chasing the African element. So when Twice a Star dropped, oh man, he has too many American influences. I told people that at this level, if a superstar of this caliber drops a project and I can pick 1, 2, 3 records that speak to me and my culture, I'm
That's
giving them
alright.
a pass. Do you understand what I mean? I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So when Twice a Star dropped and I had those, those records that had the Afro-leaning sounds and stuff, I was good with that.
Yeah.
When Love Damini dropped and I had all those ones again and had the ones that had the Bashman or whatever, I'm good with that. And when this one dropped, when I came here, what I tell you, I said, play me that they play.
They play.
Because straight away,
Afrobeats and two.
once
Got the
I
sound
heard
we
that,
know. Yeah,
I
yeah.
already heard 3, 4, 5 records, tested, trusted, and approved.
Tested,
they play,
trusted.
I'm already on that. Of course, Cheating on Me, I'm already on that. I'm already on that. So I've already taken 4 or 5 records from that album. Burna, you're good with me. Because why? I use a phrase for those names that I mentioned. That they've earned the right to do whatever they want.
But that's the
on
thing.
an album. This is his 7th studio album. Olamide,
7th.
that was his 9th or 10th or 11th studio album. Yemi Alade is on his 7th or 8th studio album. These people have dropped music that it is time for them to do whatever they like. When Olamide dropped the whole reggae album or whatever, people were like, what's going on here?
what's he doing?
My
Yeah.
brother, Olamide's dropped 9 albums before that. Over 100 hit records.
Yeah, but-
So if he wants to decide that as a creative, he's feeling kind of... Remember, Snoop Dogg did a gospel album, a reggae album.
The reggae album.
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Imagine
Snoop Lion, bro.
Remember, exactly. So creatives have those moments where they want to go out of themselves to do different things. Now, Burna Boy, coming back to Burna in this album, you have to understand this is a man that's toured the world. He's gone to
He's seen
Barbados,
things.
Jamaica.
He's seen things.
He's gone to St. Kitts. He's gone to Antigua. He's gone to Sweden like 5 times. Norway, Switzerland, Denmark, Dublin. He has fan bases around the world. He's collaborated with Ed Sheeran, collaborated with the Latin American superstar. He's done stuff. This guy has a variety of sounds from day one. So from now on, when you look into the audience and you look at a Burna Boy fan base, his music is going to reflect that.
The world.
It has to reflect that.
That's his music.
It can only be responsible. I mean, yeah.
That's him.
If it doesn't reflect it, then
he's
it's-
not serving his audience.
He's not.
So if you're part of a Burna Boy fan and you come into his circle, just take the one that's your own and enjoy it.
And-
because other people are taking the other
Theirs
ones.
as well.
Yeah.
People are taking that.
Everybody's coming there to take their own thing. So when he drops an album, that's how I look at it now. Like, yo, he's boom. He's dropped an album. I've listened to it lyrically. We're not gonna even talk about Burna Boy lyrically because we already know what's going on.
Gone.
Storytelling ability, we're not
gone.
gonna have that conversation. Are we gonna talk about his vocal ability?
No,
Then we're gonna leave
no
that
point.
to the side.
No point.
Then are we gonna talk about the production quality of the sounds? We have no excuse there. So just come and take your own genre.
And go.
Because most of the time, because we're listening to his project from top to bottom, because of the storytelling ability and how he paints pictures in our minds, in 2 months, you're going to love all the records in the album anyway.
Exactly.
Burna Boy is like Drake.
It's like a slow burn. Yeah, now.
Burna Boy is
It
like
grows
Drake.
on you. Yeah.
You got me? Burna Boy is like Drake.
So for me, I think that's where my thoughts on the album is. I think he ticks the boxes that it takes. He serves the cultures and the audiences that are supporting him now. And, right now, we'll just have to appreciate it. It's the same thing. When I saw the Wizkid album, the More Love, Less Ego, when people were like, oh, man, this album. I'm listening to the album like, there are hits on this album.
Why do you think people gave him so much flack for that album?
I believe because of, personally, I think promotion. I think we didn't see Wizkid enough standing publicly by that album. The interviews, the cultural interviews, the radio stations in Nigeria, the cultural platforms in Europe and America that speak to our culture. He wasn't on it, I think he was on BBC, Kiss FM, but nobody within the Afrobeats culture.
He didn't do like a round where you go around.
Do you understand what I mean? So
I
love some of those situations, we're not there. So when he did those rounds and he left the album to marinate, a lot of people felt he didn't believe in that album enough. And that wasn't the case, I think the album was a fantastic piece of work. It had hits and records in there that was just incredible collaborations that were fantastic. Shensia, Don Toliver, he had incredible records on there. The Ira Star record was stupid. It's a lot of records on there that was brilliant. But because we didn't see him, look at how Davido stood publicly by the Timeless album.
That album was sick though.
So because David stood by it so much, that alone was convincing to us.
Yeah.
A lot of people
True.
hadn't even listened to it.
But they believed in it already.
But because of the way David stood by that album, that product, it made us believe that, this product is the product. And we're going to respond to it just the way our superstar stood by it. That's all.
But you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. You see that Wizkid's last album?
Yeah.
Absolutely love the album.
I love the
Listen,
album.
this
I
is
love
not-
the album.
This is not
That's
2020.
one of his best
Fam,
albums, in
bro,
my opinion.
We had that conversation here.
Yeah.
I love that album.
As an
I
Afrobeats fan,
bro.
that's the thing. As an Afrobeats fan, you're always going to be like, and then Made in Lagos was such a classic record. I remember when I was taking flack for saying Made in Lagos was a classic record when the album first came out. I've got videos of it. When I was saying it and people were hitting me on Twitter saying, oh, that Wizkid album. All of a sudden, 2 years later, everybody's saying such a classic album. So that was a cultural shift. He shifted the tempo. He moved the culture with that album. And it was just a classic. How many people have multiple classic albums? Wizkid has got Superstar. Then he had Made in Lagos. That's ridiculous. Some people would even argue Ayo was a classic album. Do you understand what I mean? But publicly, we accepted that Superstar and Made in Lagos was a classic album. Having such a hit album, you could do whatever you want coming off of that.
But then this is the thing though. I think a lot of people in this culture, right? They always want to say, oh, we need something like that old thing that you got. But I always tell people this. Yeah. People like Burna, Wizkid, Davido, some of those people, they are not just serving the Afrobeat fans no more, right?
Some
of these guys are like
is a global superstar.
Yeah.
Anybody that can sell 50,000 tickets, 60,000 tickets, 40,000 tickets, he's not only talking to
No,
Africa.
it's not just talking to Afrobeats no more.
There's no way you're talking.
You know what I'm saying? Because when I come to listen to Burna's album, which is the reason why I say I love this album, yeah, I'm expecting different sounds.
But that's
different
what- that's
sounds.
who he
That's
has
me.
been.
You know what I'm saying? So,
That's
but,
who he's been from day one.
you know, but like people always want to put him in that box and everything, which is the reason why I say he's like Drake. You know, when Drake drops, he has house, he has this, he has R&B, and then he has rap. You know, so he's feeding different people.
What Drake does is his last album was House, right?
was house music.
And then he did the rap with 21 Savage.
21 Savage.
And then he's probably going to come with his own rap album.
The different
but Drake,
shit.
but Drake is, maybe that's where some of our artists also need to look at, where you can mess with the different sounds once in a while, but when it's time to really touch your Afro,
You deep into it.
you dip into it. You see what Asake has done with these 2 albums?
Sick, bro.
Asake catapulted into the top 5 conversations with 2 albums.
like movie, bro.
Bro, like a movie.
I was
And guess what?
chatting to my boy. I'm like, yo, you see Asake, but we're talking about Asake that top 5, yeah.
Listen,
He's up there.
Like,
right
he's
now,
up there.
if Asake drops a 3rd album
mad.
with the same Afro-leaning sounds, he cemented his career for life.
This-
Asake is performing 23 hit records right now. 1 hour is not enough for an Asake
No.
set right now.
No.
Did you hear what Charlemagne said about Asake on Breakfast Club? I posted it today.
was it?
Where Charlemagne was saying, I don't understand what he's saying, but this guy's hard. I want to talk to him.
Is the vibe though, isn't it?
But you
Is
can
the
tell.
vibe,
But
is
you
the
can
language.
tell. But he's talking in the
He's-
music.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you can tell that the brother's talking.
Music is the only thing where someone does not understand a piece of English.
Bro.
Yeah? But you're performing and they are singing to your song in
Bro,
English.
Tyke-
But they don't understand the fuck what you're saying.
Tyke has been one of my favorite artists over the last 3 years. I
Yo,
listen
that
to
Tyke-
Tyke.
yo,
I
that-
listen
yeah.
to Tyke every day.
That is
Like
That is
I
a-
listen to Tyke. I listen to Oxlade. I listen to Friday.
Benson
I-
for me.
I listen to Benson.
Love Benson.
These are artists, and I listen to Joe Boy. Shout out to Joe Boy.
Shout out to
These are artists that on air every single day.
This guy is Rema. Is it this guy?
Yeah,
He
Rema.
love Rema.
Yeah.
No, but I like Tyke too. Is it Tyke or
Tyke,
Tai
it's
Chi?
Tyke,
Oh,
Tyke,
oh,
Tyke.
okay.
And that brother, he doesn't sing in English.
French, bro. I don't
But
hear. I don't
I
understand
know.
every word of what he's
I
saying,
can
but I
tell.
love his music.
Having
Yeah.
listened to his music so much over the last 2.5 years, there's certain songs when he starts to sing, I know what he's talking about. Do you understand? You just know. You just know.
No, Tyke
and,
is
and,
hard.
And that's an example of that. So for me, I just think some of our artists as well, as much as they're doing the international sounds and the mixtures, which is fantastic, it brings a lot of audiences onto our culture and our, and our artists. I just also want them, shout outs to the Energy Gawd.
Shout out to the Energy Gawd.
I just also want them to also keep it Afro sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it
It
helps
helps.
us.
Yeah, it helps.
It helps
I mean,
us. It helps our culture. It helps our people. And, they can do it off the back of their head.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
can.
Absolutely.
Burna, they play. He was playing on They Play.
Oh, what?
And that, for
and
me,
that is a serious record. That is a serious record. And then the thing is,
Bro, for people that have not heard they play, yeah.
Are you sure they're not going to cut this off on your YouTube or whatever? when
What
you
we
play?
usually do is, this is what we usually
You
do.
mute it.
We mute it sometimes,
play
yeah.
10 seconds.
Or we cut it out, but but then it's in the audio episode.
Okay.
You got me? So the audio episode on Spotify and
All right,
everything.
all right, all
Yeah,
right.
so
So
that's what we
people
do.
can listen
But
to it.
but we don't put it on YouTube, man, because YouTube is on some nesting, bro. You go up, it's on nesting. But let's go back to Wizkid,
Yes.
right? I think personally, Essence,
Yes.
yeah, and I might be wrong, but I think Essence was a gift and a cost for Wizkid. Let me tell you why.
Why?
I think because Essence, the bar Essence has set is all the way up there to heaven. Yeah? I think when Wizkid drops a song, yeah, that song might be amazing. But because, once again, some of our people are expecting Essence. If it's not as great as Essence, they will call it shit. Right? While the song is an amazing song.
No, I think you could say that for any one of them.
You
could
know what I'm saying?
You could say that for Burna Boy with Last. You
Last-
could say that with Rema for Calm
Calm
Down.
Down, yeah.
I don't think it is. I just think that you have to understand when they call you, it's a word that I heard The Rock use. It's a pace setter, someone who broke the mold, who led the way. Wizkid broke the mold. Wizkid set the trend. Wizkid opened the door to where the young men and women now had more confidence that it could happen for them.
Yeah, God.
They were all making music. All these people were all talented in their quarters, your Burners, your Wiz, your Tiwa Savage, Yemi Alade, whatever it is. A lot of people
But it took
had
that
the
one
talent.
person, yeah.
But there was a struggle that the young generation were not being heard. So when one of them, who was Wizkid, ultimately got his break, then everybody knew that without a doubt, it can happen for us.
Can happen, yeah.
But he's done that for over 12 years.
Yeah.
So we have to also always remind ourselves that how many cultures has an artist at the top of the food chain for
that
over 12 years? Consistently leading in the culture, being a pace setter, being a record breaker. At the time that Essence was shattering records, it was a record breaker. This guy was the first one to go into the O2 Arena to bring those thousands of people. This was the first guy to go into the HMV Apollo and headline a 5,000 capacity. Check the stats.
Yeah.
In 2012, when we had no radio or television or social media the way we do now. So he's been doing it that long that sometimes we also have to afford him that grace. That where is he getting the motivation from? To keep getting up. I saw Wizkid like 3 times in different countries 2 weeks ago. Norway, Switzerland, Germany, back to back. And I'm thinking, this guy's been doing this for 10 years plus. How
not
do you
easy.
still
How do you get
to
the
motivation?
motivation?
When you're talking millions now,
Like you're
flying
chill, you're there.
private jets now, constantly. How do you want to? How?
You live on the road.
Those are the questions that I would want to ask your Wizkid and your Burna Boys So tell me. Burna now, I can't remember the last time he flew commercial.
No, what?
Because he's always on a jet to work. So how does it feel coming from PH City where you were running and hustling and on the streets and trying to get people to believe in your sound to becoming one of the highest paid entertainers in the world? This is the brother that performed at the halftime of the Champions League. The brother that led the African performance at the halftime of the NBA All-Star. This same brother is who we're now calling an ingrate and not part of our culture.
That's crazy.
Come on, let's think it well.
We need
Because to me, because to me though, I don't know what people are hearing. When I listen to a song like Frames,
That's a jam.
Nah, that is listen. No, and it's timeless as well. But till 20 years later, I will still be rocking that jam.
That's what I'm saying.
So
But which is where I'm coming from. That Essence, might be okay. It might be like Get Rich or Die Trying for 50 Cent, right? Like Essence is so great. That some of these people, when they hear something and it doesn't sound like Essence, or they feel like that it's not Essence, right? To them, it's trash. Right? While that song is a classic,
I think it's just standing by
your
the product. I think, because Wizkid has done this so many times, sometimes he might need extra motivation to be able to do it again. And that's it. If we as a culture saw him long enough flogging that product would have stood up. I believe in it.
I think now,
the product is dope,
I
man.
think that's what I think.
I think the
Because
product
I
is
thought
dope.
the product was dope. I just think that
He did not
didn't
stand by
spend time-
enough.
Exactly. For reasons that we probably
We
don't
probably
know.
don't know,
But on the outside, that I feel was what happened to that album.
I hear that still.
Nobody can tell me that album was clean.
That album was great. Yeah, no, I agree with you. We stand
More Love,
standing
Let's
back.
Go.
Yeah, no, that was.
That's
a
one
great
of my best
album.
albums.
Yeah, no, me
That
too.
was
I'm not gonna
clean.
lie.
That one was clean.
No skips, you know.
Yeah, that
yeah.
was
When I
clean.
listen, no skips. Like I listen to one, no skips,
That
bro.
one was clean.
Maybe because I'm getting older, yeah. Maybe because I'm getting older, I'm not into the whole boom, boom, boom,
Bang,
boom,
bang,
boom,
bang,
boom,
bang,
boom.
bang.
I just want to just get into
I think from the
a
pandemic,
vibe.
I think from the pandemic also led the way
Yeah.
in changing our perception about music.
Yeah.
And wanting slower, calmer music.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of times we were calm. We were indoors, we're chilling with our families,
exactly.
our loved ones.
Just vibing.
And we weren't doing too much.
Yeah.
So I think that changed. Enter Omale, who completely changed the
Just changed
sound.
the whole shit.
Yeah, that was another phenomenon.
That was something. It was something.
Another phenomenon that came in and switched it
Yeah.
up.
Do you know what we've been debating on here? Yeah. So since you're here right now, yeah. Essence,
Yes,
last,
yes,
and calm down.
yes.
To you, these three tunes, yeah.
Love wanting to.
And love one. Two.
Kulosa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Come
When
on,
you're
energy God is here, bro. Listen, don't forget
let's
those
get
tracks.
it.
Let's get it right.
Let's get it right.
When you're talking about impact,
Yes, let's get it right.
when you're talking about impact,
Yes.
yeah, tell me the most impactful tune out of this. Because I'm going to say, he thinks is calm down.
Yeah.
He thinks it's calm down.
I'll tell you why he thinks that.
I think it's Essence.
I'll tell you why you think that.
Because this is the reason. I think with the numbers,
I'll tell you why you think that.
I'll give it to calm down because we can see the numbers. It's breaking this and this and this and this. But you could literally feel Essence.
And I can come at you and say, love wanted to.
Are you serious?
Which was the first, though, by the way. Yeah.
Or I could even throw a curveball and say, Joanna Drogba by Afrobeats.
Joanna, that was before any of them. Yeah, so by the
it's
fact that it was the
impossible.
first,
It's impossible to choose one.
Yeah.
Because each one of these ones changed. Essence completely turned Afrobeats on his head and opened R&B crazy.
That's what I'm
It
saying,
opened
bro.
R&B crazy. Calm Down completely turned Afrobeats on his head and completely did some madness in Asia and in Latin America that we had never felt before.
No, we never had
Love
inroads into
Quantity
that. Yeah.
completely changed the whole culture and moved us closer to Asia and Arabia than we've ever been with Afrobeats. Afrobeat Joanna took us to the Caribbean like we had never been before. Drogba was ringing in Puerto Rico, Mexico, Barbados, Dominican Republic, New York City, Miami. Afrobeat is still eating off of that till today.
I was going to say that. Man's still doing shows till tomorrow.
Last,
Yeah.
took us from Lagos and dropped us in Kingston, Jamaica, like it was one flight.
I'm telling you, bro.
And took a hold of the Caribbean culture like it was their own record. Have you seen people in the West Indies singing last?
Yeah.
Listen, no, even true story. I've got a Jamaican, my paddy friend, Jamaican. Bro. He's never heard of Burna Boy, but you see that last
Bro,
tune.
they
It's
don't
like,
play with
yo.
it.
Fam.
They don't-
After that last, bruv, he's a proper Burna Boy. It's like, yo, after last, leave it out.
forget.
He doesn't want to know nobody else.
So those are the records. And then we could flip it back and take it to Oliver Twist, touch a little bit of Yemi Alade, Johnny, and then we could go to Chop My Money, Akon, and P Square. Yeah. Those are
Chop My-
records.
yeah, they're
you know,
set, yeah.
Each one of these records,
Opening doors kind of record, yeah.
come on, man. That's the timeline. That's the timeline.
I think I'm with you, but it's hard
That's
to
the
pick one.
timeline. And
It's
now
hard to pick one.
we are basking in the glory of I'm
all these
unavailable. Them know they see me. I'm unavailable.
I remember the first time we discussed this last week. I remember the first time as we saw him.
We forgot to mention Fall.
Yeah.
Chubsy. We said yeah. We said yeah.
So-
we think Fall. You see Fall and Eve. Yeah.
We forgot to mention those
I
two.
think it was before it started.
No, they did what they were supposed to do. Remember?
But they did
Fall
what's supposed
was
to
If
the
they
fir-
came out today though.
No, remember?
Golly.
Fall was the first record, Afrobeats record, to sell gold
Yes.
in America.
Yes. At that time.
Yeah, think about it. Half a million records sold.
At that time.
So that's why I said it's impossible. We have to choose, we have to select all these songs that have shifted the culture. And then, whilst I talked about all these records, then we go to African Queen, Two-Face. How that changed our whole life.
Our jewel.
Our whole life. It changed our whole history. I'm walking in Dagenham in 2003, and I'm listening to a young girl, white girl, sing African Queen.
But
in
imagine
Dagenham.
that in 2003.
2003, bro.
Nobody was coming. I mean,
So and then there was no internet like that.
At that time.
It got into an American movie.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
the
yeah.
record.
I remember then.
You
I
know,
remember then.
You have to understand this is the reason why Two-Face Idibia won a mobile award.
Yeah. At that time.
When nobody was winning them things.
At that time.
So these are the things that I always want us to find a way when we're talking about here and now.
Well, spotlight on
we
it, yeah.
attach it to what has happened
have to.
before.
Yeah, to give these people their flowers, bro.
we have to, and that's one thing I kind of feel is lacking in our culture, though.
Yeah, what's that?
It kind of lacks where
Yes,
we
forget.
forget too
forget.
quick.
We
Like
forget.
it's
You always say that.
people
bro. You always say that.
have been doing this long time, but it's like
Yeah.
it's like we see a new one, we're feeling, oh, this is all new. Nah, people have been breaking
Bang,
bounds
we're
from-
always looking for the
Bang,
next.
Bang,
The next. We're always
by
looking for the
Femi
next.
Kuti was chart topping in 1994, 95 in France.
That's crazy.
And yes,
yeah.
it was top. I think it was top 10 or top 20 in the singles chart.
Yeah.
Remember, it was banned in Nigeria, but it
was
was
banned,
charting
bruv. Yeah.
in Europe
Yeah.
at that time.
that time.
So we have to find a way to teach, inform the young people and the people listening so that they get it right.
You just get it.
And then we treat people with the kind of respect we want others to treat us. That's where I'll leave it, my brother.
Yeah, but
amazing.
going forward, I was going to ask you
That's
about
amazing. That's amazing.
going forward. But where do you see, like, what's the next? If there was ever a next level,
Yes.
what's the next level for Afrobeats? Like as a culture, as a movement, as a general. What do you think, in your opinion?
So when they asked me this question 4 or 5 years ago, I said chart topping. I said we'll be hitting the billboards, and if you look at it 5 years after,
That's
doing
what
it
we're doing.
like it's nothing. We have everybody in the charts now. Do you understand what I mean? The next level will be the impact of the culture, the way hip hop impacted us with dance, fashion, food, swag. I think Afro pop culture and Afrobeats is going to have to do that. Where we're going to impact the fashion world. The fashion industry will start taking notes from African
we're doing.
fashion and our style. Yeah. And then our dance has started to impact dance. Well, we saw Beyonce and what she's doing on stage with some of the Afro dance moves. So we're seeing that. And then the third level will be the movies. I'm advocating now that Afro pop culture gets into movies.
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's
Yes.
dope. Let's switch over to the women.
Yes.
Because I've always said this, and it pains me, right?
Yes. They
Why
don't
is it-
get enough.
They don't get enough shine as the men do.
We're responsible
like
for that.
when are we gonna see a woman headline the O2? Because
Very soon.
because in my opinion, we have Yemi Alade.
Yep.
Shout out to shout out to her, man.
Very
She's amazing.
Incredible kid.
You know what I mean?
crazy.
We have Tiwa Savage, she's been doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Those names are
Like we have Tiwa
iconic.
Savage. Yeah, bro. We have Tiwa Savage. We have Yemi Alade. We have Asha. You know what I'm saying? Like we have all these iconic women and everything.
Yes.
And it pains me to look. And in my opinion, I don't think they get enough shine. Yes, the people like Thames. Yeah, everyone is talking about Thames right now and everything. That's great. But what I'm talking about, some of these women have been.
doing it.
Listen, they have been in the deep end.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So why is it that they don't get the shine?
Anybody that knows me know how passionate I am about these women. You know, Yemi Alade, Tiwa Savage, the list goes on.
Nah, you are, but and I must commend you, like on record, but on record,
Yeah,
I
he's
commend you
always-
for
yeah,
that. I
he's always
commend you
talking
for that.
about-
I'm moved as a fan, like I said. So every single artist that has made an impact as a fan, Simi, Tenny, Shay, The list goes on.
Yep.
Becca, Miss, everybody.
Yep.
Whenever they touch me, I'm gonna let the world know that this
That this is
person
what's yep.
has hit me. I'm a big fan. So what has happened is the media and the fan base, we're still developing where subconsciously is still a patriarchal industry where we're looking at the guys first. When we subconsciously mention artists,
So what's the guy?
we always say, oh, Davido, Burna, Wizkid.
And some of these women are bro. Some of these women are killing them boys.
Is it
when
possible?
when you're talking about track by track,
Bro.
some of these women are up there.
What about performances?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
Yemi and this performance is.
Come on, man.
Yo,
You look at the women, man. You look at
She can dance
Yemi,
her-
you look
she
at
can dance her ass
Tiwa,
off.
you look at, they're doing choreography with the dancers, they're making sure their vocals are on point.
And still
their
singing.
fashion, remember the hair and makeup is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember this, that, and the third is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they're doing everything on point. What we need to do as an industry is just give them that spotlight. They don't need anything else.
Yeah.
They don't need any handouts. They don't need nothing. They're doing the job.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure that we put the spotlight, as much as we put it on the guys, we shift that spotlight on the women and let people see what the women are doing
as
too.
well.
Yeah.
That's all. Tiwa Savage is currently touring America. Yemi Alade is currently touring Europe and touring Africa.
Yeah.
These people, they are constantly moving. Each one of those names that I mentioned to you, Tiwa Savage and Yemi Alade, especially, none of them does less than 40 or 50 shows a year.
That's
True.
crazy.
None.
But, yeah.
Yemi has been up
Actually, yeah, Yemi, I see her. She's tours is everywhere. Yeah.
None of them do less than 40 or 50 shows a year. None of those women. But the media don't highlight that.
I hate that, man.
So we now have to take the responsibility as individuals and platforms to share these things to the world. On my way here, someone sent me a little clip of Tiwa Savage yesterday in New York at a show.
Yeah.
Just a little clip. And I loved it. And I messaged him back and I said, yo, she's on tour. Like, if you can send me clips,
I'll post
I'll
it.
share it.
Yeah.
Because she's going to come into Europe as well soon. And I want to promote that.
Yeah.
I ain't getting paid for it. I know people get paid for posts and bloggers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That which is cool. That's business.
Yeah.
I could do that too. And say, yo,
You got
Tiwa
pay me to
Savage,
post this.
I need that $5,000 and but I'm not going to do that because I want Tiwa Savage to win. Yeah, if she could call me and say, here's $2,000-3,000,
Oh, no.
I'll take that.
You're not gonna say no though. You get me? We are not gonna say no though. You get me?
Nobody's saying no to that.
I ain't gonna say no, but the first priority to me as a supporter,
Yeah.
Show
as
that
an
love.
enthusiast,
That's it.
is to make sure that her concert, her tour is highlighted.
Oh God.
And that's what we need to do.
You get me? And to me, that's the reason why this whole conversation of equality and everything. I don't think people should just throw it under the bus and everything, or let's say throw that in the bin and say no, it doesn't matter. I think it's a real conversation to be had. Because when it comes to the music, these women are doing their thing.
They're holding their own.
The
Yeah,
biggest
bro.
artist in the world right now is a woman,
It's a woman.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And to me, and bro, that's crazy.
And right next to her is another woman.
Beyonce,
Straight up. Those are $2 billion tours. Each one of those artists.
easy,
Their tours are grossing over $2 billion.
easy,
Bloody
And
hell.
go and watch what Beyonce is doing on stage.
easy.
Dancing in high heels, changing 3-4 times.
And still
with
singing.
her, with her little princess coming out. Do you know how many shows they've done? How many stadiums they've performed at?
Back to back to back to back.
Apart from Chris Brown, Chris Olusegun Brown.
You know what I mean?
Because
Because that brother needs a Nigerian name,
He's
bro.
a Nigerian name, bro.
apart from Chris Olusegun Brown,
Yeah.
show me the man, apart from Usher now,
Yep.
that's probably going to put in as much work as Beyonce is putting in on stage.
Yes. Because if people call the weekend, all the weekend does is sing. So
No, and
No, the
Weeknd,
Weeknd, he
he
does
even
his thing.
dances and entertains, but he does it by himself.
that's it. Yep.
Beyonce is
a whole
running
troupe,
through choreography for 2.5 hours minimum.
Yep.
Chris Olusegun Brown is
Same.
going through choreography for 2.5 hours or more by himself.
Usher.
Usher the Great is
On
going
skates,
through
bro. On roller skates too.
So these are artists. But when we mentioned these male artists, we had to put Beyonce first.
That's it.
So when we talk about Afro pop and Afro
We
beats
need to
artists,
remember this,
we need to-
females.
That's why
Yeah.
I consciously, when you hear me talk about Olamide, Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, I say Yemi, Alade, Tiwa, Savage all the time.
Yeah.
No, you
Because
do.
for me, these guys and ladies are on the same level.
They are on
If
the
we're
same level.
talking grossing money, of course, we know Burna's out of this world right now.
Yeah.
Respectfully,
Yeah, no
because of the amount of shows that brother's
doing.
doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Respectful.
But when you look at the women, what they're bagging, I kid you not. I don't think there are more than 3 or 4 male artists
that are better than some of these women.
that are
That get it.
bagging
What they are, but
what
Yeah.
these women are
Yeah,
bagging.
on God.
I tell you
on
that.
God.
I'll tell you that.
On God. You get what I'm saying? Nah, bro. I'm rooting
For real.
them.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm telling you on facto.
Bro,
In
fam.
Africa.
because I think
Okay,
Tiwa Savage
listen.
just performed
All right,
for
let
the
me
Prince
let me
and
put let me put this out there.
Yeah.
Right? I'll put this out there. You can cut it up, put it on social media, whatever.
Yeah.
When you name Davido, Burna, Wiz, those 3 artists, of course you're gonna put Olamide and Don Jazzy are different kettle of fishes.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
these are record label executives
Yeah.
who have signed superstar artists.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm telling you, if we go to what artists have picked up in bags for performances in 2023, the next names on that list
Tiwa Savage
will
and
be Yemi
Alade.
Alade and Tiwa Savage.
They're up there.
Maybe this year, Rema and Asake are doing a madness. We have to say that.
Yeah, go.
But based on what's going on and the amount of shows that's happening, once you mention those 3-headed monsters, the next people you go to
Yep.
will be
Yemi
your
and Tiwa.
Yemi, Tiwa, Asake, Rema. Those 4
They're up
people are the ones that are caking as artists in Africa. I'm not talking Nigeria.
there. In Africa.
In Africa, if anybody wants to argue against those 4
Go to
names
court.
that I put that,
Go
I'm
to
ready
court.
to. I'm ready to.
No, he's ready. He's ready.
to argue with you, and I've got receipts for that.
nah, because if you ask me, I would have doubted that. Like I'm thinking, because of the audience, like looking at it from outside. Obviously, I'm not privy to all this.
Yeah.
Confidential, yeah, but look from outside because we don't talk about them that much, and people are
Yeah, but
not
that's
crazy
Yeah,
about
but
them.
That's the problem.
Because you will think they're
But-
not really getting.
So if the people are not crazy about them, but they're doing 30, 40, 50 shows a year.
But that's true,
Name the artists on the continent
That's doing that.
that's doing 40, 50 shows a year outside of the 3-headed monsters. Name. You can't.
That's difficult.
You will have to go to these names I'm telling you. Yemi Alade, Tiwa Savage. Last year, Tiwa Savage did 22 cities in America.
Shit.
America alone, 22 cities.
Shit.
We didn't add the European leg.
Yeah. Plus then Africa.
Then
sef,
she
we
did
didn't
the
even-
African one.
Yeah.
Yemi Alade, I'm not even going to count those numbers.
She's on the road.
So she's constantly on the road. She's like Burna Boy when it comes to road touring. She's everywhere. In the Caribbean, this year alone, Yemi has done 6 shows in the Caribbean. I'm talking from Barbados to Jamaica to whatever it is. She's been there. About 6 or 7 shows this year in the Caribbean. Europe, she's been on tour in Europe, all those festivals. Germany, Switzerland. As we are speaking now, she's performing in Denmark tonight. She's performing in Germany tomorrow. Last weekend, she was in Switzerland and Germany. The weekend before, she was in Morocco. She went from Paris to say, bro, you don't want to even go there.
Shit, crazy.
So those,
Well, this way girls are busy.
what?
They're on the
Women are
road,
busy.
bro.
Yeah.
They're busy. They can never be in Nigeria until December. Go and check their record. It's online. Again, another name that's coming into that touring crazy this year is Ira Star. Oh, look at her dates.
Yeah, she's busy, bro.
So when we mention those 3 monsters at the top of the food chain moving, you cannot go beyond Yemi Alade, Tiwa Savage, Rema, Asake, and now Ira Star in 2023. And mind you, what Yemi Alade and Tiwa Savage are doing this year, 2023, they did it in 22, They did it.
21.
21. They've been doing it since.
Fam, the bag is
Adekunle Gold is in there too.
Oh, bro. Adekunle Gold is
Adekunle Gold is in there too.
I kind of feel like I kind of like it kind of reinvented himself some kind of way.
You don't feel like he did.
He did.
You don't? Yeah, he did.
He
Or
did.
Yeah, he did.
It's not even a feel like he did that.
Did you see that thing that he did? I don't know what country it was, but he
He
infused.
switched.
Bro,
it's on
that
tour
shit
in
crazy.
Europe.
That shit
That's
crazy.
on tour in Europe. Like, so that's why what we see on social media and our commentary really doesn't.
Nah, it
doesn't
doesn't hold
matter.
no water. Nah, it doesn't. In
The
the grand scheme of
reality-
things, it doesn't. Yeah,
I
it doesn't
just
hold
came
no water.
last
yeah.
weekend. I was in Spain with Yemi Alade. She headlined the reggae festival, Rototom Festival in Spain last week. It was a reggae joint. Tonight, where she's performing is a reggae festival. She's co-headlining. She performs before Beanie Man headlines the whole show.
That's crazy.
Bro, she just went from Morocco to Spain. And she
She's
came,
doing
it's
her
crazy.
thing, bro.
Like these people are moving mad. That's why I said I will argue with anybody on the continent, knowing what I know. Outside of those three monsters.
When it comes to bag, these women are
Bag,
get into it.
you can't touch these people. How can you touch these people? It's impossible. You know, the same Yemi Alade I'm telling you about, she's got a home in the United States of America. She's got a home. She's got about 5 or whatever homes in Ghana. She's got homes in Lagos. She's got homes in Abuja. Stop playing.
She is a woman of stuff. She is a woman of substance.
Just
You know what I
because
mean?
you don't see the
the whole-
private
yeah,
jets,
yeah,
you don't
it's-
see
it's
the
not like
bling
they're not
bling.
living, yeah.
A lot of people, and you see her in like African clothing and whatever. This lady is cakey, you know. This Tiwa Savage, we already know.
No, we
yeah,
know
she
she's.
is.
We know she's. Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't play outside those three. That's why I said Don Jazzy and Olamide are on a different level.
Yeah, they're Zek, so it's
They're
kind of
different.
yeah.
And
yeah.
then obviously you have Flavor Nabanya, P Square, and maybe Fino. They're on a different level as well because
They're
you
doing their
know,
own thing. They're doing their own thing.
you know. But when it comes to moving around, don't mess with these people.
It's different, bro.
Nah, it's a joy. It's a joy. It's a joy to witness this, you know, because I remember when it wasn't, you know,
Yeah, it wasn't this.
not too long ago. It wasn't all this.
Yeah,
it wasn't all this.
bro. That's actually crazy, man. Listen. Just before we leave you,
Yes, sir.
you know, what's it called? Afronation.
Yes, sir.
Afronation, you guys are doing the damn thing.
Shout outs to the whole Afro
You know what I
Nation,
mean?
man.
The movement is crazy.
nah,
doing the damn thing right now in
team.
America, everywhere and everything, bro.
And it's needed, bro.
That's what I'm saying,
Because
bro.
I think I would argue, you see, Afronation is very, very important, bro,
It's
for
not
this
a-
whole culture.
It's not an argument. Afro Nation has become a vehicle that has taken Afrobeats and Afropop culture
Definitely.
to the rest of the world.
It's
What
become
we-
the
the
vehicle.
organization and the festival has done, a lot of people might not have heard it enough or said it enough, but I'm here to tell you
Please,
that
please
Afro
do, please
Nation
do.
as an organization is hugely responsible and part of the recent successes that Afrobeats is having in the last 5 years.
That's a whole
Afro
fact.
Nation is responsible for the official Afrobeats charts in the UK. Afro Nation is responsible for the official Afrobeats charts and the billboards in the United States of America.
that's a whole
Afro
fact.
Nation is responsible for turning our headline superstars into international headline superstars. If Afro Nation didn't exist in 2019, where Burna Boy headlined in a day, Davido headlined in a day, Wizkid headlined in a day,
day, yeah.
then other festivals around Europe and America and the rest of the
Would
world
not be paying
would
us.
never think that these guys were capable of drawing 10, 20,000 people and headlining festivals.
whole
So
fact.
Afro Nation coming in
fact,
2019 is hugely responsible for the next level that Afro beats as a culture and Afro pop culture has attained. Look at what Afro Nation is doing to Amapiano right now.
crazy.
The Piano
We're
People
busting
stage
it. Yeah.
is ridiculous. The Piano People Festival is going to happen in the UK I think in November, bringing some of the heavy hitters of the piano world, Amapiano world, into the UK. Look at what that's done. You know, if not for Afro Nation and those that believed, that put their money where their mouth was, and really decided to create and suffer for this culture, I know for a fact, even though we might have gotten where we are now, it probably would have taken us an extra 20 years.
Absolutely, bro.
It's definitely taking us longer.
And those men and women of that organization and their partners deserve a lot of credit because trust me, it's not been easy.
Nah. I can imagine.
Setting up in 2019, having the success that they had, and then suddenly being hit by the pandemic in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
That
was a
could have
bump on the road.
completely, not only been a bump, wiped it off.
Because I had bare people that were disgruntled. Like,
Of course.
well, obviously, it got cancelled and
Got
they were not
cancelled,
happy.
Stuff.
Bare people were not happy.
That was a really trying time
Yeah,
for
it
the
was.
organizers and people that believed in that festival and believed in that organization and the fans that had started to come. But thank God that those guys and their partners decided to stay the course and really see the future of what they wanted to create. And ultimately, if you fast forward to now, Afronation has been to Puerto Rico, been to Ghana a couple of times, been to Miami, which was fantastic, gone to Detroit. Now they're going to Lagos for the first time. Portugal is the spiritual home of Afronation, where we've got tens of thousands of people across Europe and the rest of the world coming in to enjoy Afro pop culture like they've never done before, seeing Afrobeats artists on the same scale of international artists, where all the American and European artists are now coming to our stage with humility and respect to come and entertain our fans. Come on, man.
That shit crazy.
That's Afronation, bro.
That shit crazy.
No, Afro, we owe a lot to that. Listen.
No, we do. No, we do.
But the frenzy they created, but I remember the 2019, but everyone's like, Afro. I'm like,
that's it.
people are excited about an Afrobeat festival. I'm like, what?
So
that shit
now,
crazy.
that's
It was crazy.
So that's what we've seen across Europe, where all the other festivals that didn't give a damn about Afro-pop culture are
confidence
now
now came in.
scrambling
To get us
pay
in there, yeah.
every African artist and Afrobeats artist to come and
Booking them,
perform on their festival or headline on their festival. And again, shout out to the artists. They're showing up and showing out. Every festival that has booked Burna Boy, or booked Wizkid or Davido or Yemi Alade or Tiwa Savage, you know that they've come to that stage to slaughter.
Yeah, to kill it. To kill it.
So not only have we had the opportunities, these entertainers as well have now come to deliver.
That's it.
And that's a different level now. You know, it's good to be successful. Look at Rema. Look at Ruga. You know, it's good to be successful.
Them boys are killing
They're
it.
coming. You know, it's good to be successful with the music, but to come and deliver live, it's the next level.
it's the next level.
You know, and they're delivering. But for me, you know, regardless whether I'm in partnership with Afronation, I'm not in partnership or whatever, I'm telling the world that if not for this festival, we surely will not be where we are today.
On God in heaven.
No, I agree.
On God in heaven.
I definitely agree.
One thing that I think Afronation needs to take to the next step, in my humble opinion.
Yes.
I think we need an Afronation tour.
No, they're doing the tour. That's the tour. That's the tour. Remember, this year...
Wait, is this the tour or the festival?
No.
Because
it's the tour, bro.
Okay.
This year, they've been to Miami in April.
Yeah.
We went to Portugal
Yep.
in June.
Yeah.
They've been to Detroit
Yeah.
in August. They're going to Nigeria in December.
Oh, there you go then.
By next year, they're going to... Remember, they haven't even stepped into the Caribbean or Latin America yet, apart from Puerto Rico that went last year.
Yeah.
So it's a tour. So again, this is where Afronation comes in, where some of the artists that are now performing on Afronation stages are going into different territories because this festival is booking
It's taking
them.
them there. Yep.
So again, anyhow you want to look at it, this festival has been nothing but a blessing and a door opener for our culture. Nothing else.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Definitely.
Now, because the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, Afronation's going to all these places, but I always looked at it because we all knew Afronation as Afronation Festival. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's a tour.
The way you explained it right now, it is a fucking tour.
It's a tour. So Burna Boy has been to Miami with Afronation. He went to Portugal.
He was in Detroit
with
as well,
Afronation. Right? He went to Detroit with Afronation. Yeah. And I don't know yet, but he might be in Lagos with Afronation.
That is going to be a
so in 1 year, He's gone to four
For
different
destinations.
places.
Yeah.
Afronation.
That's a
bro.
tour.
That's a tour right there. Yeah, yeah.
That is dope.
That's
man.
a tour.
Yeah.
That is dope.
No, shout out to all of you. I mean, shout out to the guys behind you. Yeah. You guys have got
Incredible
something
people,
there.
man.
Keep
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Let's keep it up.
Incredible hard workers, man. Sleepless nights. You know, some of these people that work for Afronation, like, and their partners, if you see the work,
That goes into
it's
yeah.
just
I can only imagine.
unbelievable work.
I can only imagine.
So
Millions of
sometimes
pounds as well, bro.
These are some of the things that change my perspective with criticisms. So when I wake up the next morning and somebody's criticizing something about sounds and stuff like that, you have to understand where the amount of work that goes into setting sounds
Yeah.
for over 10, 12 artists to
Yep.
perform on the same stage.
Yep. It's too
Yeah,
much.
it's-
It's too much. You
It's
like
a-
you
it's
can't
a-
even
it's
imagine
the
that.
complexity of it.
Some
Yeah.
of them cannot imagine
The
that.
complexity of moving the stage around for artists that are bringing a different live band and different sounds.
And all these guys travel with their bands now.
Everybody's moving around with dancers, bands. You're dealing with different personalities, managements. You're dealing with also like,
It's
yo,
different.
it's all fun and games if you're in front of the stage,
Yeah.
but those behind the stage,
They're working.
what
It's
they're
not
doing
fun.
They're working.
It's not fun and
is
games.
ridiculous, and it's a mixture of men and women, in crazy, difficult
Shout out to all
positions.
them, man, bro. Shout out to all them, man, bro.
Nah,
Shout
that's
out
dope,
to, shout out
dope,
to
dope,
everybody, man. And also shout out to Smade as well, bro, because he's doing the damn thing.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's doing the damn. He's one of the people that we would love to speak to because
I'll get him on.
yeah,
I'll get him
salute, because we would like to
get him
tap into his brain to
Don't
see
worry about it. I'll bring
how
him
this
on.
whole thing happened.
I told
bro.
him I was coming here.
Salute, bro. Salute. Listen, man.
It's been a good one.
It's been
Still.
a good
you,
one.
brother.
It's been a good one. Like
Yeah.
this right here is a grenade, bro. Hiroshima thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when we drop this one, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure people will listen
And
people
learn.
and learn
They will learn.
and learn. Hopefully, man.
Yeah.
You go. What I'm saying, but thank you so much, man. G.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
having me, man.
Thank you so much. You are. I respect you, man.
Thank you,
Go. What I'm
bro.
saying. You
And
are a
and
great guy.
a boy in the game,
Thank
oh
you,
yeah.
bro.
Now
Listen.
what for
Appreciate
you?
it, man.
You know what
Thank
I mean?
you.
We respect you and
Thank
everything,
you,
man.
man.
And listen, some of you out there, man. Salute to every single one of you out there. You could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with us, man. Salute
Yep,
to you
yep,
guys,
yep.
bro. Listen, if you've not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, leave a like, leave a comment, share it, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Or tell an enemy to tell a friend.
Because
people.
they got friends too,
Yeah, man.
You go what I'm saying? Because they
Yeah,
got
yeah,
friends
yeah,
too. And
yeah.
also, we are on your audio platforms as well. You go on your Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Amazon, anywhere where you find us, we there, man. You go what I'm saying? So just search Fresh Off the Boat Podcast or Fresh Off the Boat Show. But on YouTube and your audio platforms as well. And also, go check out the Afrobeats Podcast.
Podcast.
Easy.
Appreciate it, man.
Easy.
Just type that in any platform, the Afrobeats Podcast, and I show up, man.
That's it, man.
Appreciate
You show
Thank
up,
you for
bro.
having me.
Yeah,
man.
Listen,
yeah.
and also, this show right here is
appreciate it.
powered
Powered
by
by
the Energy Gawd Drink, bro.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
By the
yeah.
Energy
Appreciate
Gawd
it.
Drink, man. It's
Thank you.
everywhere around you, man.
Thank
You
you,
go what I'm saying? Or also, you should go in the description box. The link is gonna be there.
Thank you.
You go what I mean? To take you straight to the site. Or some of you like myself that still love to go to the shop. You can find it in Enish,
Tasty.
Tasties, you know.
And most of all those lounges, Made Lounge, 042 Lounge.
Everywhere,
You know,
bro.
check it out,
You
man.
get
I
me?
appreciate it. Thank you.
But then, if you're too lazy to leave the house, or if you're cozy,
Online.
man, online straight, man. You know what I'm saying? The Energy God, bro.
Thank you,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying, bro? Thank you so much, my G.
I appreciate
you
it.
know what I'm saying?
I'll be
Thank
back.
you.
Love
Listen,
we
this
would
are
love
home.
to have you back.
I'll be back.
This is a home for you,
be
man.
back,
You know what I'm saying?